change my thing?
So in the
In
chat,
the
Or like,
chat.
yeah, in the chat you're gonna go all the way down, and as you'll change it to Floki.
oh, okay, easy, okay.
Wait.
So this, do-do-do-do. One second. So on the continent of Valtoria, after the Great War, it's been about 225 years of peace and prosperity. The kingdom has grown and prospered. People are at ease for what seems to be a long time of war, conflict, and world-ending catastrophes. Uh, is we take place in a small little village known as Irandor, where people of a humble nature live, cultivating crops, selling food, doing general business, and just living a general fulfilled life. As we go in, we see a black kinku kind of in a alleyway. As Floki, could you describe your character and what you're doing in Irandor?
I am a Kenku rogue. I wear dark clothing to match the feathers that I match my feathers. Um, I'm in Arendor because I believe the mark on my hand is somehow linked to me being able to clear my name from the betrayal from the Black Talons that
Uh,
betrayed me.
you don't have, like I said, you don't have to be going that specific,
Oh,
but yeah, it's okay. Uh, so you just kind of like sit there. You kind of feel the presence. You feel the strange presence going through you, as it feels like this aura or energy is entering this town. As Joseph, as you are entering uh, this humble village, you kind of just birds are chirping, everything's going quite pleasant. Could you describe your character for me and what you're doing as you enter the town? I can't hear you, Josephet.
I was trying to fix the AI voice, but it wasn't working. Yeah, I'm a 7 foot tall gold dragonborn with green eyes. I have a scar over my right eye. When I enter the town, I'm just trying to figure out, because the mark's been pulling me here, I'm trying to figure out exactly why and what's going on.
Alright. So, as you enter in, you feel this aura as it kind of is pulling you down this direction into what looks to be more of an alleyway. Um, you're welcome to follow this like weird pool, or you can just ignore it and explore the town. Are you gonna head towards the pool?
Yeah, I'm already going towards it. Yeah.
All right. You gotta let me know what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So you start kind of walking down the alley, looking around. You look at people, and you just see kind of people just talking. Nothing really suspicious or anything. Um. So it's not. You can't really tell for sure who is there with the mark, but you feel that you're getting closer. With that, you do you feel another sense of like what's the word I'm looking for? Sense of power per se coming through. As Thea, you enter this town. It's not like what you're originally from or used to. It's much calmer, much less fishy per se. Could you describe your character and what you're doing as you enter the town?
Yeah, I am a female high elf, standing around 5'4". Pretty slender, wearing a pretty intricately made ebon robe with some silver symbols etched on it. Uh, it's a new time coming to this town, and feel like it's probably the best for me to go check out the riverside a little bit, since it's probably the closest thing to my hometown.
Alright, so you, the mark that you now have in your hand, in the shape of this eye, you've been kind of pondering it a little bit as you've been walking through. Not too sure what it's about, but as you receive the whisper to arrive to Aranor to find the other marked ones, you continue walking in through the town as you can sense that this mark kind of like pulses a little bit as it seems to be getting closer to other marked ones. So,
I will follow it.
alright. So as you follow it, you kind of make your way into the town a bit more. Uh, you see pedestrians walking through. Everyone seems relatively happy. Um, you notice you hear as you go past the church, you hear a couple of people talking. You hear something about how goblins had attacked some farmers before, and now they're trying to cure those people. Uh, as that happens, the three of you do feel as the mark is getting a little bit closer to each other. Uh, so starting with Floki, what are you doing as you kind of feel this like pulse coming from something behind you?
I'm aware of my surroundings, and I try to remain hidden, and see what is going on without being seen.
Alright. Roll a perception check then.
Okay. It's wisdom.
No, it's a perception check, not a wisdom check.
Oh shit. Oh.
Need more skills. All right. Um. Yep. So you kind of just see there's so many people here of diverse races and everything. You can't really you trying to see any differences. It's very hard. Uh, as that you feel like more and more of this like pulsing is happening as we go to the two brothers, uh, Lazarus and Malik, as you guys enter the town.
I am Malik, the younger brother of Lazarus. I am human. I have short black hair that's well groomed. I have very what appears to be very well like pristine clothes with a chainmail, and I also carry a family sigil on my belt buckle of a shield representing a tree of life, a tree of wither, and the sun and the moon. I stand about 5'10", and that's the description for me. You can go ahead, Lazarus.
Uh, I look much like my brother, with brown hair, blue eyes. On the clasp of my cloak is an old but ornately wrought sigil of a sun and moon and two trees, one withered and one verdant. A large black raven perches on my shoulder, occasionally chirping and croaking as if it's speaking in my ear, named Hugin.
Alright, so as you two walk into the village, what are you guys doing?
I'll,
Um, brother
I'll,
and I would say we're talking. We probably are making mention of our marked and wondering if we could find, since we both have witnessed the same dream, we knew to come to the town, but how to find those who are also marked is beyond us. But we have an idea that maybe searching in a tavern or going to find the sick, maybe we might find somebody else who's marked.
to
Alright,
that end, I'll order Hugin to fly up and scout around the town.
alrighty. Go ahead and have Hugin roll a perception check for me.
Use my perception. I think I see through its eyes, if I
Yes.
understand his correction.
Yep, you can use your perception if you're looking through its eyes. Alright. So, looking as it goes through the air, and you're looking through it, as it kind of like flies more this direction. Uh, you it goes over this elven lady, as all of a sudden that you feel this pulse just greaten as it goes over to her, as Hugin kind of flies back around after that.
Does it grab my attention when he flies over, or does it just grab
Yes,
the
so
bird?
as soon as it looks at her, not only you but Thea herself, the pulse radiates more.
Could I land somewhere in a tree to get a better view?
Yeah, so you land in a tree. What kind of view are you trying to get?
Look for the hands, maybe. See if she has a mark as well.
Um, so Thea, how would your hands be? Are you gloved? Are you
I'm
more?
gloved, yeah.
Yeah. Looking at her as the pulse keeps going as you directly look at her through your familiar. You notice that she's wearing gloves, so you can't really tell.
Fair enough. I'll send Hugin to keep scouting, and then I'll mention my brother a description of her, that she looks like she might be of interest, and that I got a weird sense from her.
All right. Are you guys gonna start heading her way? Or are you gonna go through town? Or sorry, you already go ahead and talk about that.
I think we should keep scouting around, brother. Nitro?
I'm sorry, I was muted.
It's okay.
I said, brother, you found something. Did you find
Yeah.
anything?
This weird elf girl that I got a weird sense from, and I'll give a description of her of what I saw.
Do you see any mark on her hands?
She was gloved, so I couldn't tell. But we should keep an eye out for her.
All right. In the meantime, where do you want to head while you're scouting around? You want to hold position, or you want to still go check out the church?
We should probably still go to the church. I haven't finished scouting the city yet.
Okay.
All right. So,
So
I'm sorry.
I would just say that we're just obviously in agreement to head towards the church.
And I'll just follow him while I'm using the Raven, I guess. Like, sort of on my phone, like, you know how you can follow people.
Yep. So, as you guys kind of approach the church, I would say about here at the crossroads, you see that she's also walking that direction, as all three of your marks are now pulsing in this like very frantic motion.
Do we feel the pulse in her hand?
Yes, you can feel it. It's kind of like it's kind of like a almost like a metal detector kind of pulse. It doesn't make a noise, but
Are we making a physical reaction to it? Like,
Like, could
are
we
we
tell
are we
if...
are we grabbing our hand,
it's not
or
painful, but it's just noticeable.
So I
is it?
won't really make a reaction, but let me do a perception check.
Hmm. So you would have noticed with that perception check, you noticed that there was a raven or a crow looking at you, through the trees, as it did kind of just seem to follow you. Um, with that though, like I said, there is a lot of people of different races and classes here, so you can't really tell them apart. But you know that you kind of get this feeling that you're getting close to them.
Mm,
About how close am I to uh sorry,
Let
what is
me.
the
Oh, you go first.
no,
Uh,
I was just saying how close am I to Swin's character?
Each grid is 5 feet, so
yeah. So you guys are very close to each other.
yeah.
Also,
So,
don't
like,
take
But there,
passing each other on
the
the
we
street
can
kind of
feel
thing?
our hand pulsing, but we don't. There's nothing like my hand isn't like idly trying to like compass its way over. It
yeah. It's not like
isn't like a magnet, is it?
it's not like a magnet. It's not like the same pull that you had to come to the village.
Um, yeah. As I came, or I was, we make our way towards the church, and I see Swin's
I
character
change
Thea.
appearance.
Before you got there?
Mask of many faces. So
So you're doing it in front of everybody?
I'll just cast like a minor illusion since it's a cantrip.
Well, just remember
To just
you are out in public, so everybody would see it.
oh, then let me just walk into like the wood right next to me, like the bush and the trees,
Alright, so
and do a quick massive many faces in there.
yep, so you dip behind a tree and where you think nobody's gonna be able to see you as you disguise yourself. Um, you walk back out.
Hold on. Can I cast perception to see if I catch the just all randomly?
But
I
we were
seen this
already
person
looking for
walking
it.
there, and now I just see him just jump into the bushes.
Yeah, roll a perception check. So as you're walking by, you catch from what your Raven saw, you catch her walking behind a tree as she changes form. Thea, what are you changing her form to?
I wasn't the one with
Let
the
me
bird, by
change
the way.
it to a normal human,
Alright,
a
so
human male.
yep, so now you just look like a human male. As
Mhm.
Malik, you do see that from behind a tree, a standard just human male wearing commoner's clothes walks up, where Thea vanished off to.
Okay.
At this time, though, Tyrion, uh, you now enter the village. Uh,
Mhm.
it's quite cozy. It's not like the village that you know, though. It's not as hospitable or cold. It's quite warm as you're more south. Um, could you describe your character and what you're doing as you head into the village?
Yes. Karen is a 20-year-old young adult. Um, he has a very long bow, which he used to use to hunt. He also tends to wear very thick clothing. Um, and he is usually accompanied. Um, he usually has a companion, which is a drake. It's called a Sed. Sed is a small spirit dragon. He is uh, majorly blue. And under his belly, he has a bit of white and some strikes of gold. Um, and yes, usually Sed emanates a kind of serene and majestic aura when you're close to him.
Alright. So, you. Uh, would Zed be going into the village with you, as he is a small little dragon?
That's a good question. I think he is not.
So,
Um,
as before you enter the village, you see Zed kind of look up to you, and he's kind of like giving you the puppy dog eyes that he's given you several times when he's trying to get food.
um, I command Zed to stay hidden in the woods and to not make much trouble. Try to stay as low as possible.
He gives you a little bit of a look, and you see that he's kind of sad, as he doesn't like being far away from you. As you see him kind of like run off, if you see him running up a tree, as he remains out of sight of people. As you walk into Erendor. As you walk in, the the sigil on your hand, you feel it pulsing, as it seems to be pulling you more in this direction down here.
Would the raven still be flying?
Yes, as the raven's still flying, uh, roll me another perception check. Alright, so with that, you were able to see the Dragonborn as you get the same reaction as you did when you saw Thea and Tyrion. However, you do not see Floki at all, as he is hidden.
That's the guy in the tavern?
No, that's the guy hiding in the alleyway.
Okay. And
So,
I guess I'll whisper into my brother's ear. 2 more guests, brother. And then give him a description.
When you whispered to my ear, brother, I mentioned to you I just saw that elf lady just jump behind a tree, but just moments later, a man appears from behind that tree and gets back onto the road. I find it highly suspicious and let him know. As like something's weird going on here.
I would not be surprised if an illusion was used, brother. Seems they found us as well. Or at least are aware of our presence.
About how long of time passed between Dia jumping behind a tree and me seeing that someone jumped behind the tree and then a man appearing, but it took place
I think it should be very fast because
very fast?
yeah, massive many faces.
Yep.
So you just took on a human face, but your clothes are the same?
Different clothing too.
What do you look like right now? Like, are you wearing gloves now?
Yes, but still human commoner clothing. Before it was more noble clothing. Now it's more common.
Um, I tell my brother what I just saw. Do you make do you walk out of the area quickly enough in that time, or are you still trying to play it off and walk towards me?
Oh, I'll play off and walk towards you.
Um, soon as you get within range of me, I want to reach out to try to greet you with a handshake
So
to
for
see if.
Oh, and I will just start bowing instead.
so
Oh, you. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to say something?
I just wanted to say real fast, for Theron and Theron, are you gonna be following where the pulse leads you? By the way.
Yes, I will go into the tavern.
All right. Well, it's not a tavern, but it's an alleyway. What? Wrong token.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so as you kind of make your way into there, you you're kind of you're kind of just kind of standing there as you see this northern man walk up. So he's wearing like winter clothing. As the pulse on your hand starts to kind of go more as you're standing next to him. Same for you, Tyrion.
The guy would
I
just. Oh, go
I
ahead.
glance at him and kind of question myself what's going on. I don't do anything, but I am very cautious on what I will do next.
I would just look at my hand, realizing that it had to be the person who just came up behind me, but I wouldn't pay him any mind at that point.
Oh yeah, very quickly, Tyrion, if you would mind, can you go into like the chat and change your on the bottom it says ass. Can you change it to your current character so that the one that shows on Roll20 is yours?
Um, with that, Loki, you feel that these pulses are trying to lead you somewhere behind you. Are you wanting to leave the alleyway you're in and go down the more like street alley?
No, I peer across the. I look. I peek my head around the corner and attempt to see any. I see two people, but I'm not sure exactly if they are people that I am looking for. Do I?
As you're looking through the crowd, you see the Dragonborn and the human. As the pulse in your hand kind of radiates more. Additionally, you notice this crow flying overhead. As I believe it was Lazarus's crow, correct?
Yep.
So
Would I
Lazarus.
notice them greeting this dude?
So you notice in one of the alleyways is Kenku as it flies overhead, as he's peeking his head out, and you get the same pulse as you did with Thea. Um, and for you, Floki, you know you get kind of the same pulse coming from the crow, which confuses you just a little bit, as it's not really a
And
hand.
out of caution, can I try to break line of sight and remain hiding them?
Yep. So just roll a stealth check. You believe you are hidden.
And I also, out of caution, I will be following the dragonborn and the human with the bow at a safe distance, but in the shadows.
Alrighty. So with that, we go back to Malik, Lazarus, and Thea. So Malik, as you go and you're shaking this human's hand, what are you doing?
Refused to shake my hand. I reached out and was like,
Yeah, and I bowed instead.
"Hey, good sir," and I go out to reach to shake the hand, but you said you bowed, and immediately my response I was like, "Oh, you don't you don't shake hands." That is what?
I wanted to ask, Thea, would you bow like a male or like a female?
Like a male.
Alright. Just double checking.
Yeah.
Anyways, I said I am kind of like, "Oh, you don't shake hands. That's kind of odd for what. Where do you hail from?"
Oh, I came from a town to the north.
Oh, they're not the handshaking type, huh?
Yeah. And since you seem to dressed in a quite knightly type, think my little commoner self shouldn't be on the same level and using that sort of greeting.
Can I do insight to see if I'm
Sure.
being lied or deceived? I guess a little
So
bit.
Thea, roll a deception check for me.
Yes.
And yeah.
Would I be
All
able to
right,
take the fall?
and
I would say in this conversation you couldn't because you are more focused on the three in the alley.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm a little bit away from my brother now. I kind of walked
Yeah.
away to
So you
shake
can tell that
hands.
something's very off with this man.
Um, that's a pretty interesting area you're from. You wouldn't happen to have seen an elf lady around here, would you?
oh, I have.
Yeah. Do you see where she went?
Yeah, she went to the north a little bit ago,
You can, so you can tell that
and
she's lying. By the way, with that, with your previous insight check.
Um, when you say that, I just kind of my facial expressions went from being openly friendly, and I immediately kind of take a more serious look on my face. And I say, "Look, how about we cut the crap? I saw you die behind that tree, and you came back out looking different, and you're obviously trying to avoid me. So, once you cut the crap and change back to what you really look like."
so I'll change my expression kind of turns colder, and I just kind of walk up to him, and I will say, um, let's talk about it in the church without changing my appearance.
I kind of nod to the agreement, and I kind of turn around and tell brother, "Hey, brother, we're kind of like nod my head in the direction. It's like let's head to the church. We got business to attend to."
Oh, by the way, I was talking about this. This is the church, right?
So this, sorry,
Hold on, let me
this
zoom out.
is the church.
Wait,
That,
hold on. Could you point again?
yeah. So this is a church. Where I'm pinging.
Okay, that works too.
Yeah.
Okay, that works
That's
too.
like that's an orphanage.
Gotcha. Yeah, this works too. So I can just go to church either way.
Yep.
Alright.
Ah. Okay, brother. seems though we have a third guest. An interesting fellow, a Fettery. Only caught a glimpse of him though.
Do you say this out loud,
No,
Lazarus, or do
I
you
whisper it into his ear.
all before we kind of walk off?
Yeah.
As we're walking, is this new individual that has asked me to go to the church to talk further? Are you leading me to the church, or are you?
Yeah, I'll be leading.
Okay,
Alright,
then I would say me and Lazarus are following you to the church.
Yeah.
alright.
And at this point, the mark is still kind of feeling right. And since I'm kind of closer, is it getting stronger?
Yep. So the
Yeah,
mark
we
is
would be no more than 3 feet behind. We'd be falling close because I don't want you just to step off away from me.
so.
Gotcha.
I do
Give me
want to
one
say
second.
this. For Malik and Lazarus, the mark doesn't pulse for when it comes to you two for each other, because it's
Oh, it doesn't.
as you've already recognized each other and made it known, but it does do it for Thea.
Okay.
But with that, as you guys are heading to the church, we go back to Tyrion, Josephet, and in the alleyway of Floki. Um, so what, Tyrion and Josephet, you both are just kind of standing next to each other. It's kind of like the two kids who don't acknowledge each other really at school, but they kind of just coexist next to each other. As you both kind of feel this pulse in your hand radiating just like a metal detector when it's over metal.
Okay, so I go up to Josepher.
Josephet.
Is it Josephet? Okay. I go up to Josephet and I introduce myself. I say, "Hi, I'm Taryn. So I see we are both in the same place, and I don't find that a coincidence."
Hello, my name is Jehoshaphat. The only question I would have is, do you have a mark on your hand?
You've seen my mark?
No, I'm asking if you have a mark on your hand.
Well, I've been having a mark last few. Sorry. So I do have a mark, and I show it to you, and I tell you, it's been acting kind of weird lately.
I would pull my glove off and show him mine.
Yep. So as you both kind of acknowledge each other's mark, the the pulsing that was just like a metal detector stops for you guys, but you still do feel it, as it seems to be trying to pull you towards this direction.
I would walk forward then. I would walk forward.
I think the mark is trying to tell us something.
So are you both walking towards that direction?
Yeah,
We
no,
do.
I definitely would, yeah.
Yep. So, Floki, you feel that the mark is getting stronger as you kind of watch them two from the shadows, kind of peering, trying to look for you. So, Tyrion and Joseph, both roll me perception checks, please.
Yes.
Tyrion, can you roll me a perception check? Alright, so neither of you seem... As you both kind of just look around, you're unable to really tell who it is, as Floki's just hiding in the shadows. Floki, what are you doing in this situation? Did you see them both kind of getting closer to your location?
As I see them moving closer to my location, I attempt to break line of sight and get in behind them by going around around the building with the red roof and the chimney to be on their backside.
Alright, so you would basically be over here by now, as Josephet and Tyrion, you both feel that the pulse is moving, as like you guys were getting closer, but it seems to just be pulling now towards more this way. Um, are you guys gonna continue just trying to follow it, or what you doing?
I would look at Taryn and say, whoever it is trying to hide from us. I don't think following is going to do anything.
I
In a
think
quieter
it's
voice.
yes. I look at him and I say it's also a bit pointless to continue searching for someone who doesn't want to be found. So
You also
I
feel.
suggest we should head into town.
So you guys heading more deeper into town then?
Yeah, I would.
Alright, so as you guys head deeper into town, you do still feel the pulse, like it's coming behind you, and it's just staying a distance away. And every time you look behind you, you don't see anyone particularly looking at you. As you get more closer into the town, about, say, the town square down here, uh, you feel not only the pulse coming from behind you, but also more leading you towards the church. As you hear the church bells go dun dun dun, signaling that it's about midday.
Would my
What is this?
raven
Oh, I'm
be
sorry.
would my raven just be watching this dude go jump from shadow to shadow following these two that I'm also looking
Yes.
interested?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just see him going from shadow to shadow. It's kind of impressive how he's just been able to be hidden from these two.
What's going on inside the courtyard and around the church? Is it busy? Is there people?
Uh,
There's a
so I say we, like the three of us, I will probably be leading them to the back of the church since my whole point was to kind of change appearance. So
Yeah, so there's like this back of area over here on the
yeah.
path that you guys can head to. But in the courtyard, you see that there's several priestesses, uh, and they all seem to be. As you see, the church is a church of Helm. Um, you also see that the orphanage there's kids playing, as they're all playing like hide and seek and other sorts of games.
While we're walking, I guess I'll whisper in my brother's ear. Our feathered guest is quite at home in the shadows, brother.
I do like a light nod that my brother can understand that I heard him when he kind of whispers to me real quick to let him know I understand. Uh,
I hear any of this?
I don't know. Did you?
Do you
Do I
know the
do?
same language as we do?
What language do you speak?
Common?
Common, dwarven,
Oh yeah, I do.
elven.
Yes, I do. Not
But we're
dwarf.
whispering,
I
so
do.
I don't know. That's up to the DM to see if you have to roll to hear.
Yeah.
Um, it depends. Is Thea trying to listen to you too?
I mean, they whisper like quite a few times now, so I probably noticed they're doing some.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah. This one.
You hear them talking about others, so you kind of figure that you're not the only one in this town that has a mark.
Okay, so I would just stop walking and turn to them, and I use
Would
the
he?
mask of many faces,
Would
and
he? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Would he be thinking that we're like marked hunters or something? That we are tracking multiple people just from hearing us talk about people?
Yeah, because I just been saying guests. I haven't referred to any marks or anything.
That's up to Thea to decide and how she feels.
yeah. So I would just stop walking since we are already at the back of the church. We use mask of thousand faces, and I'm gonna turn into my previous look. Uh, I will go up to them and ask them.
Oh, before
So
you do that, as you transform, like, oh, so this is the real you.
yeah, and seems like somebody had been following me this whole way.
Well, I definitely thought it was interesting that you would try to hide, or if you hadn't did that, I probably wouldn't be interested in you at all.
Anyone would hide if somebody were to follow them. Would you not?
No one was following you until I
There
was
was a
just coming in
raven,
that
was
general
there not?
direction. Did I? I don't see no raving.
Sure. Since I have already given to you my true identity, how about you give me yours? Show the raven. I seen it.
Would
I seen it looking at me over the trees earlier.
Lazarus recall the raven?
Uh, No, I'll leave him keep following the other two.
Alright. But you can all. Would you let her know that there is a raven? Or no?
I'll say I do have eyes in many places.
May
Okay.
I ask something? So this is a kind of like a crop based town. So wouldn't there be like more than one raven in town?
For sure.
Yeah, but I rolled perception. I figured out that it was watching me. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they've been
so,
saying there's been pulses.
yeah.
Okay.
That's all
yeah.
I can
Regardless,
say.
though,
I
on
look,
our
look,
conversation.
I would say to you when she asked about the Raven and Lazarus, you don't say anything about the Raven, right, Lazarus? You don't recall it or nothing, or do you admit that we were? Yeah, you said that we were using a Raven.
No, I said that we have eyes in many places, but we were not looking for you, per se.
Um,
Seems like there's only one person that's genuine here.
I kind of put my hands up and I say, look, let's start over. We got off to the wrong foot. My name's Malik, and this is my older brother Lazarus. We're just here looking for people because we were drawn here. We think you might be one of those people that could also be drawn here. And I show him my hand when I do that drawn here, and I show him the hand that has the eye.
So, Thea, as he reveals his mark to you, the pulse for him at least vanishes, but you still do have a pulse going to Lazarus.
So let me look up and down at him. And is there what do I see like the silver sigil on my robe anywhere on him or any of those two?
No.
Okay. All right. So I will just tell them my name is Sia.
Do you show
Thea,
him your
huh?
mark?
Do you have a mark, Thea?
Yes, of course, and I will show it.
Huh. Um, can I do an investigation on Thea's mark to see if there's anything different about it? Or
Sure. Roll a. You can do a perception check on it.
okay, yeah, that's what I probably want to do.
It looks exactly identical to your mark.
Is there anything new I did see in this mark that maybe I didn't notice before, even on my own?
So, while you've been looking at your own mark, sometimes you swear, but you're not for sure if it's just your mind playing tricks on you while you're traveling, but it looks like it blinks sometimes.
Would I notice it blinking on her hand when I look, or is it just one of those times that I don't notice anything?
You don't notice if it's blinking or not, but like I said, while you've been looking at your hand for so long, you can't tell if it blinks or if you just blinked and it made it look like it was blinking, but you do kind of get it. But so you're not for sure on it, but you could have sworn that it blinked.
Yeah. I
Is
will
this
put
something that
the.
we've all sort of took notice in the past up to this point? Is that maybe we've seen our eyes blink, or is this just something that I'm thinking just now?
It's something that all of you could have, depending on if you would have noticed. Like, if you've looked at your mark long enough.
I say I probably would have.
But
Would
like I said,
Okay.
it also
would
could
Meg
just be
blink?
a your mind playing tricks on you because when you blink, you see another eye could like make the eye look like it's blinking.
Yeah.
Would
I
Meg
would just and for now, let me just put my gloves back and just say it's not very kind to stare at the lady's hand for this long. Huh?
would
Oh, so you do have manners.
Oh, of course.
I guess
I
next time you
am.
should shake a hand, and you probably would have got away. But um, since you're obviously marked, I think me and my brother should come clean to you and admit that we are looking for people that might also have a marked as us, and that you were right. We do have a raven in the sky looking around, but I don't know. Me and my brother have a sneaking suspicion that there might still be more in town that have the mark.
So as you say that, Tyrion and Josephet, well, you still do have the pulse going from behind you, but you're unable to find out who it is. You do feel like there's a bit of a stronger pulse coming from the church. Are you guys wanting to head that way?
Yeah, I would just go to the church.
Quickly before they go up this way, can Lazarus, if Lazarus, do you choose to show her your mark on your hand
Sure.
before, while maybe they're in transit? So like maybe we can sync up the fucking pulsing.
Sure.
You know how pulsing.
Yeah,
And
it's just like if it goes away, like it makes it hard for us to detect who's who.
So
and then I'll also say, brother, it seems our guests are being drawn to us as well.
yep. So you three have
You
no.
say you whisper that, or you say that out loud now? Because
I'll
you've
just
seen
say
her
it
have the
out
mark.
loud.
Yeah. So while you three no longer feel the pulses towards you guys, if you now seem to recognize each other, I would say as Josepha and Tyrion, you both kind of enter into the church courtyard, with Loki following behind as far as Loki wants to. You just move as far as you want.
Wait, before I go to the church, I would like to buy something at the market.
Sure. You see that this market, at least, is more rural goods. So like, there's a bunch of vegetables, some meats.
Nice. So I go up to the who is attending
You
the
see
store.
you see that it's this dwarven man. His face kind of like grimy from dirt from working the fields. As you see, he has a bunch of vegetables and some chicken, raw chicken.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
I'm assuming this world is very multi-racial, and that no one has any like natural
There
like
is some
look,
people
he's
who.
a bird person,
There
and
are
that doesn't
still
strike
those
no one
who.
odd.
There are still those who are racist, but in general, the world is not very racist.
Okay, I just
I
wanted to
think
make sure
I think he
because
was
we do have
asking
a
more.
dragonborn and a Floki, and they're
I think
very different.
I think he was pointing more towards like, does a Birdman stand out in the middle of a crowd kind of thing.
You've seen
That too.
walking through the town. You've already seen like an Aarakocra, so it's not anything new.
Oh, so there's a pretty good mixture of people throughout the land.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
I am bird person.
Well,
I am bird person. I was wondering if he was going to say that because I forget the name of the race. So I was like bird person.
So
well, I'd
Tyrion.
like to buy an apple,
All right. So they,
a pair of apples,
as they look,
actually.
as you get a pair of apples, they look at you and he's just like, you look like you've traveled quite a long way, especially in those winter clothes. Take these apples on the house.
Nice. And how much do you charge for the chicken? My friend will actually really like that.
One chicken is 1 gold.
Well, can you back that for me?
He takes some paper and he bundles it up for you and hands it to you.
Cool. So I then hand him over 1 gold.
Alright.
I think I have 10 gold from the Outlander thing, whatever.
Yep, so you hand him a gold and now you have a raw chicken.
Cool. Then I see this church in the distance, and I see the Dragonborn kind of getting close to it. So I start to get close to it too.
Alright, so you both kind of get into the courtyard. As they do, everyone feels the pulse getting closer to each other. As for the three of you not behind the church, you feel like it's pulling you behind the church for some reason.
For those who are behind the church, what are we feeling? Because we're all synced up, but we still feel the pulse.
Yeah.
Are we feeling it in the like coming from behind us, basically, or?
Yes, you feel like it's getting stronger as it's getting closer to you. And you're not sure why exactly. As for
Wait,
Lazarus, you see that everyone's approaching you more, as the Kenku's just sleeking in the shadows.
Didn't I say that our guests are arriving at the church? So they should
You said
know they're coming.
Yeah, you said they were getting closer.
Well, okay,
Well,
then I'll
guest.
tell brother our guests have arrived in the church courtyard.
I'll just ask. What guest?
I look to the Thea and I I think there is more than just us here that are marked, and my brother, I believe we've spotted them and we've been watching them as they have traveled throughout the city, and I think they're heading towards us. I think they can feel the pulse that we all were feeling in our hands.
Then why don't we
Are
go
you
out and greet
wanting?
them?
I looked to her. I was like, "Are you trying to hide from them, or since
No,
you try to hide from me, or?"
no, I wouldn't have hidden from you if you didn't send that crow out.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, um, brother, if you want, you can tell Thea what type of individuals might be coming our way, so she isn't caught off guard.
I'll give her a description of the two in the courtyard and tell that our furry friend is trying to be sneaky
Your
on the
feathery
Uh,
friend?
outer. Our furry get our
Feathery
feathery
person.
guest.
Your feathery friend, not furry. He's not a tabaxi.
Sorry.
Battery and Scaly. We have a dragon bone here.
Yeah, so you tell him basically who's approaching. To Josephat and Tyrion, are you guys gonna start heading towards the back of the church?
Yeah.
Alright, so
We will, but before I start moving towards the where I feel this hand is emanating, um, before I do that, I land an apple on the ground, and I just state, "This is for you," and I go,
where you were
and I
putting,
follow.
where are you putting the apple?
It's for the raven, yes, for the raven man.
The guy that's following you.
But yeah, I just leave the apple on the ground and I go with the scaly guy.
So looking at him, you hear him to say, "This is for you, Raven Man," as he just puts a little apple on the ground, and yeah. Would Loki go to the apple, or would you just keep falling in the shadows?
So I move around the walls to the fort of this courtyard. Around this. Oh, I don't have my thing. Yeah, I do. I move around the walls, and am I able to make my way inside the church and get a vantage point from like the bell tower?
So when you get to about right here, there's a door. You can try to pick the lock and get inside.
Can I attempt to pick the lock and
Roll
attempt
a
entry?
sleight of hand check or thieves tools. Alrighty. So you easily pick this lock. Is this not designed, or it's just designed for a simple key? As you get inside and you head through, you make it up into the bell tower with relative ease. As you just kind of look down, you're able to see everybody. In Lazarus, your Raven does notice that he's in the bell tower now.
Wait, how does he
Uh,
notice me when I'm peering through a window?
Because
I've been watching this whole time.
he's been watching you the whole time.
The bird saw him through the building as he made travel, or just noticed them through the window when he
So,
finally made it up there.
As he's looking through the window, your bird would have noticed his head poking through the window, looking.
God damn, someone got the UAV out there.
I'll whisper to my brother. It seems our feathery friend is trying to get a spy on us up in
Hey,
the bell tower.
as
Acknowledging.
brother, as you go to try to whisper, I kind of like stop you. I was like, brother, we don't need to.
Well,
Not now.
I mean, okay, whisper to the group.
We don't need to be quiet.
Two of us.
We don't need to, hide our secrets from Thea if we want to build trust.
Well, I mean, like whisper to the group. Br- I was gonna. Should I try and make contact, brother?
No, if they're coming as you say, we'll be here, and I kind of say, loud enough for Thea to make sure she hears. I was like, I think people just like us are coming around this corner. I think we should try to be as non-threatening as possible to see.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I basically just motioned. Thea, do you have anything to say to me saying that?
Sorry, I just got my snackies. Could you repeat that?
So so Lazarus tried to whisper to me about seeing Birdman up in the bell tower. I stop him from whispering and tell him like, look, hey, we don't need to hide anything if we plan to build trust. So I have him say out loud to you and me that there is an individual who's watching us from the bell tower, and that the people, the other marked, who we believe to be marked ones, or people with eyes, are coming around the corner, and that we should try to present ourselves as friendly and honest as possible to see what we can get. Because from people who have the same situation as us.
Yeah, I mean, if the one that's hidden doesn't wish to be seen, and since we already know he's there, it wouldn't be a threat to us anyways. Let's just meet the ones in the courtyard, and
Yeah.
the Raven will show himself when he feels like he should.
So
I agree.
as you say, coming around the corner, just like a psychic, you see the Dragonborn and human come behind a corner. As Tyrion and Josephet, you see these three individuals just kind of sitting there talking to each other.
Do I notice them immediately as they come around the corner? Like I thought I was facing in the direction.
Yeah, you guys would have noticed them, especially since Lazarus probably would have told you that they're about the
Yeah, I
Dragonborn.
would have nudged him or something.
Soon as these two individuals appear around the corner, I immediately greet them loudly, like, "Ah, finally, our guests have finally arrived." I wouldn't say guests. I would say our new friends have finally arrived.
Sounds like a vampire inviting them to the
I don't know. I was trying to, like almost like a salesman. Like,
I guess have finally arrived.
does any of our new individuals who are coming to this group have anything to say?
Tyrion, Josephet.
All I would do is just raise my hand with a markup.
I was about to say the same thing. I just show my hand with the mark.
I guess we'll mimic.
Wow, upfront and to the point. I kind of like that. And I also, raise my hand and show the mark so they can see it. I'm assuming there's some distance between us,
Yep.
so we're not
As
right
you
next to each
all
other.
acknowledge, as you uh,
Does
have-
everybody put their hand up? So far it's just the new people and
I'll
me.
mimic my brother.
I will nod my hand, but I still have my gloves on.
yeah. So to everyone, but except for
Mhm.
Thea, who it still pulses for Thea. It also pulses kind of leading towards the direction of the bell tower. But the only person who really knows the exact location of him would be Lazarus, just because he rolled that 21 on perception, which beat the.
Well, Lazarus told me and Thea.
But you don't know exactly
Yeah.
where in the bell tower he is,
Oh, okay.
because there's multiple windows there. The only one who would know is Lazarus.
Does Tyrion and Josephet, do they come closer after we all acknowledge each other with the hand gesture?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm within 5 feet of you, so I was already.
Well, I just imagine as you came around the corner, you're a little bit further away, but
No,
I hand
I was
over.
fine. Would have walked straight up to you.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
Go
I
ahead.
would like to go up to the brothers and offer a handshake. Just introduce myself.
I immediately greet you with my handshake too. I see you reach out. I greet you immediately. And you're the which one are you again?
The northern man, I think. Right?
Tyrion, the guy from the north
Yeah,
with the bow.
I
Okay.
wear heavy clothes and stuff. Yeah.
Um, would I know that he's automatically from the north by just how he's dressed,
Yeah.
or do you want me to do a history check?
Just looking at his clothes, you can tell they're more winter clothes.
As soon as I shake your hand, I was like, "Oh, someone from the north. It's a long ways to travel."
It is. I've been on a Sorry, it is pretty far north. But it's been a long way.
You from
I
Skyport? I will just quickly interject and say, are you from Skyport?
Actually, further from that. I'm from North Heaven.
Mm.
why I shake your hand and you tell me this information, I kind of immediately glance over to the Dragonborn. I was like, "Is he a friend of yours?"
More like an associate that just met.
How about our furthery friend? Is I assume since he's been sneaking behind you, he's not also one of your associates.
Now we couldn't find him, and then just kind of gave up on it and came over here.
Well, make no reaction, but he's spying us from the bell tower.
Floki,
Oh, I assumed
Uh,
he was still watching.
so Lazarus, you look up at the bell tower towards his like general direction.
I'll tell. I know I'm telling them, and I'm making no reaction, but I'm mentioning that he's spying us from the bell tower.
So Floki, are you just what exactly are you just trying to do in there? Are you just watching them?
I'm maintaining a distance while trying to gather as much information as possible from just visually watching. So I'm seeing everybody with their. I saw all. Believe 4 of them showed their marks. Correct.
All of them.
Yeah.
There.
Or
I have mine. I still
Thea
have
showed her hand,
So
but didn't
4. Yeah.
actually
Okay.
take the
So
glove off.
4 show that. So I visual. Okay. So I saw 4 marks.
Yep. So the
And-
pulses for you, for the people who showed their marks, ceases. You still have a pulse for Thea though. However,
Okay.
everyone still has a pulse for you, which you don't know about. That they can sense you.
But am I able? Can I deduct that if I have a pulse towards them, that they have a pulse towards me?
You could theorize that maybe they can, especially roll a perception check for me, by the way.
Okay.
Do an intelligence check, see how smart you are.
You also notice
that's
that there's
good.
you also notice that there's been a raven that's been flying around quite unraven-like. It seems to have taken notice of you, and every time you look at this raven, you do get the sense of a pulse as well.
Okay.
Until you look down at one of
I-
them, and the pulse vanished.
Can I choose to? Can I attempt to incapacitate this raven with a ball bearing in my short bow?
So I'm gonna say no, for the reasoning of the raven's more up in the sky and flying around. Or actually, go ahead and make a. Just roll a d20 and add your dex to it.
Okay, so /roll d20. And then what do I do after that? Wait,
So
roll one
just
d20.
roll a d20 and then add your dex modifier to it.
How do I
If-
do that?
I'm seeing him notch his little crossbow thing.
Yep.
Could I just tell the raven to quickly fly away?
Yes, but it would still be able to be attempted.
Yeah.
So
Or
how do
could-
I apply my modifier though?
You don't need to worry
You-
about it. So you're just gonna add it mental math basically after you do your roll.
So my dexterity is 4. My modifier is 4.
So
So
yeah, so
I see my brother looking like his face is getting a little strained, and I ask him if is there anything wrong.
so
'Cause-
yep. So you take your bow and you shoot the little ball bearing, but unfortunately, with the raven taking evasive maneuvers, you're only able to shoot off like a little tail feather of it. As you notice that it has taken notice of you.
Alright. And realizing my failure of hitting my target, can I try to break line of sight with this
Yep.
raven?
Roll me a stealth check. You believe you're hidden as you kind of go down. However, as you kind of go down the stairs, one of the ball bearings that you had pulled out, some of them slipped out as well and went onto the stairs. As a bunch of people all of a sudden just hear this boom, 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 as you fall down the stairs. And inside, one of the priestesses here, as she runs up to you, she goes, "Oh goodness, are you okay, sir?"
I'm
I'll
fine.
I'll
And I
say to our
continue.
Well,
And
let them
then,
speak.
yeah, I say to the priestess, I'm fine. And then I continue to move out of the church.
Alright, so she just looks at you kind of concerned. The little bit of damage she did take, she does seem to. You do feel like it gets better though. She kind of seems to have whispered something under her breath to assist you as you do make your way out of the church. Lazarus, you do lose sight of him as he does run back inside. I would need you to make another perception check.
Can I say to the group, this overgrown
Um,
chicken dared shoot him?
So
yeah, okay.
I would be a little bit annoyed at this point by this entire shenanigan that's happening. So I would just message him mentally since he's still in the church
You don't know
and
anything.
his
You don't
whispering.
know. You have to be able to see him or know what he would look like. Kind of. You wouldn't be able to just message
Hmm.
him because you have to point a finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. You don't. You can't see
Okay.
him, and you don't know.
I was gonna do that when he was in the bell tower when we can see him, but we just kind of
Well,
proceeded.
you
But it's
couldn't
okay.
see him.
Tia,
Lazarus
are you
was.
making?
Yeah,
I'm
Lazarus
sorry.
was the only one who was able to see him because of the crow. You wouldn't
Gotcha.
have been
That's
able
fine.
to.
That's fine. Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Thea, are you making your annoyance with the fact that you're basically hearing Lazarus talk about the bird being shot, and are you making your annoyance with the fact that we're waiting on somebody and being watched obvious to anybody? Like, are you saying anything, or are you visibly like annoyed, or is this
I'm
something
just
you're feeling
I'm
inside?
I'm just kind of feeling it inside.
Okay.
So,
But
Lazarus, your bird loses track of him.
yeah, I make a disgruntled look. This overgrown chicken shot a pellet at my bird.
And just so all of us don't feel a pulse towards each other, correct?
That's correct. You only feel a pulse to this one individual who's moving away.
I'll call my bird back and pet him and reassure him.
You see that there's just one of the nice black tail feathers is now gone.
I kind of tell Lazarus talking about this, and I mean Lazarus tells us about the bird and the fact that this individual is giving us a slip,
He's being aggressive
and
too.
I look to the rest of us and I say, I guess whoever that is isn't interested in meeting up with us, but I feel like we can only find out the answer to this mark if we meet everyone else who's been drawn to this location.
I would say that we stay together and wait because he may come around when he feels comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a little bit past the time now. He almost tried to attack one of our little bird friend right here.
He's
Might be a
obviously
little bit of an
cautious,
issue.
so maybe pursuing him aggressively might be the wrong choice of action here. Maybe we just need to wait for him to come to us in a place where he can't easily just run away. Perhaps maybe we could go to the tavern and just wait him out to see if he comes around. I'm looking around the group to see if anyone else thinks this is a good idea.
Do we know where a tavern is?
Yeah, so the tavern is right. It is right
Is it a
here.
general idea that most small and medium or small towns and better always have taverns?
Yep. The tavern is
Okay.
right here on the
Even if we
corner.
don't know it, we could
I
be
see
like,
it.
oh, we should
Yeah.
probably find the tavern and go look.
Would I have seen the tavern when my bird was flying around? So would
Yeah,
I be able to?
You would have seen the tavern, plus half of you walked past it. They would have
Yeah,
seen
I
it.
mean, Karen literally bought something right in front of it, so
Yeah, so the only one who doesn't really know much about the tavern would Thea, and that's about it.
yeah, I'm down to
Um,
go to a tavern.
I look over to the Dragonborn and Tyrion, and I look to see what if they want to come with us to the tavern.
I'm actually starving. That apple was not enough.
I could use a drink.
Oh, then it's settled then. We'll see what this individual wants to do, and maybe we'll have a good time and get to know each other just a little bit while we're waiting.
Alright. So you all head down to the tavern. You see that this tavern is known as the Shoeless Horse. As you go inside, it's probably around maybe 1-ish in the afternoon. So there's some people here. It's not fully packed out as it would be later into the night. There's several tables. This tavern also acts as an inn, as the top floor is a bunch of rooms.
Okay.
So you see that this quite fairly attractive young human female she sees you guys walk in, and she's like, "And how many would you guys be seating today?"
We
Before
have
I'm
6.
sorry. Before we go in, what's the crowd looking like? Is it busy?
The town square is fairly busy, but the inside of
No,
the
the
tavern,
crowded tavern. Yeah.
yeah, it's not too busy.
Okay.
It'd probably be like 5 people in there at the most.
Is there anything that is blatantly noticeable in the crowd
So
at the tavern? Like, is
in
there
the
anybody that sticks out to me?
there's not very too much. A lot of these people seem to be more farmers.
Okay.
You do notice that the tavern keep, the one behind the bar, is this Goliath, and he's missing an eye, and he has this black paint across his face. By the way, so you all are approaching the tavern. Floki, are you following them to the tavern, or are you just gonna?
Can I maintain and still? Yeah, can I follow within earshot? I don't know how long. How?
Yeah, just
What's the distance?
roll a stealth check for me, as you're gonna be more headed towards the more public of areas.
Would I do a perception since I know what he looks like? So I would see.
Yeah, after he was the stealth, roll a perception check to see if you can spot him out.
Well, that's probably not happening, but
That was
So,
good.
so as you all,
And the whole thing is also I just remain in earshot, but I stay closest to the elf. Just
Lazarus, I stopped my brother before we walk in too. I'm like, hey, why don't you keep an eye out, leave the bird out, so we can keep an eye out here, so we
Wait,
know if he's coming.
so we are in the tavern, but he have to be in earshot. So is he coming in the tavern too?
are you going to the tavern, Floki? Or are you gonna be kind of like outside of a window?
outside of a window.
So none of you notice it unless you're with your passive perceptions. Um,
I'll take my brother's advice though and have the raven just look around the tavern every now and then.
yep. So your raven kind of sits on top of the tavern with a bunch of other crows, kind of blending in. Uh, so for right now, it doesn't see Floki, but you all go to the tavern. Like I said, the young female, she asks you how many you're being sat today.
We have 6.
She looks at you, she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's like, all right. Yeah, she leads you to this round table in more of like a corner spot. There's a total of 6 chairs in there. As she sits you all down, she's like, hey, what would you guys like to drink? We have fine ale. We have some, of course, it's just water. Anything else?
I will get some water.
When she says that, I make it a point to make sure she knows that whatever, the first round of drinks is on me. It's like, put this. I'll take care of the billing. And I kind of looked at everyone like, hey, feel free to get a drink on me.
Just get an ale.
I will get water regardless.
Alright, So, Floki, you see that.
I just get a water also myself.
Yep. So, for those who are getting ale, you get this barley ale. It's not the best ale that you've ever drinking, but it'll suffice. Floki, you see that everyone is seemingly gathering together, drinking. Uh,
Oh,
so,
and we will buy a 6 on ale and just put it on the table and just don't touch it.
all right, and you do so. Floki, you do see that there is this in an empty chair, just a cup sitting of ale there. Uh, you would probably deduce that that is for you.
Okay.
Um, are you still just gonna sit outside the window watching?
I would like yeah, I stay out and I stay outside the window, but because I still haven't gotten enough information, I attempt to eavesdrop their conversation, just gather more information
Yep, just
on.
roll a perception check for me. Alright. And with that, also roll me another stealth check. Alright. So with that, um, it is the window that you're having to look through to see them. Uh, all of a sudden you get this bump from behind you as there is a little bit of a crowd out in the town center, as someone accidentally just kind of bumps into you. As Lazarus, you see his beak poke through the not poke like into the through the window, but like where you can see it, as you notice him outside the window.
I'll say to our guests, are the overgrown chickens outside the window still spying?
Oh well, brother, don't get resort to name calling.
Yep. So Floki, the person who
You
bumped
hurt my
into you,
pet.
he goes like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." It's probably about this teenage male. Uh, he's a half elf, and he looks. He's like, "I am so sorry, sir, or ma'am, or uh, bird person. I didn't mean to bump into you. I wasn't paying attention." Uh, he kind of like jumps a little bit as you see him kind of just run off. Are you saying anything before he runs off, or
How much gold do I have right now?
it would be, I believe it would show on your sheet if you scroll all the way down.
My coin says 0 right now.
Did
So
you roll for your gold for your class?
Well, with his background and everything, he should have like 5 gold, I believe.
okay.
Even with your race
I
roll?
Yeah, your class should give you like 4d10 or something like that, times
Well,
10 or something.
he chose class equipment, so he didn't get any.
um I get the kid's attention before he runs off, say you want to make a quick coin.
He looks at you, he's like, "Yeah, I'm always looking for a little bit of cash."
So I write on a piece of paper saying stating stating my identity and my intentions. So I'm a rogue and that I have a mark.
Well, you don't have to say you're a rogue. You can say that you're
Okay.
a
Oh,
Kenku.
yeah, right.
Yeah. You can say
I'm
that you're just.
I'm a I'm a Kenku with a mark that notices the 5 other people with their marks. But at this moment in time, I am still a wanted man, so I cannot be out in public, like for like per se, like openly out in
So
public.
you know you're wanted, but in a small village like this, it wouldn't be as bad if you were out in public, as more people, or there'd be way less people who would know about you, because you're basically. Think of it like you're out in the boonies.
Regardless, I still take the precautions.
Yep. So he handed a
What?
piece of paper. And the kid, this teenager, who runs inside. After you give him the gold piece, to Joseph, he gives you this piece of paper, and he's like, I was told to give this to you as he runs back out.
Would my raven have seen that whole interaction?
Yep.
Okay, then yeah, it's
The other question is, why this is all happening? Does this happen basically as we've been sitting down and ordered our drinks, so we haven't really talked to each other?
Um,
Does this
this
happen
would
fairly quickly, or do
this
we
would have
have
happened.
time?
This would have happened right as you would have ordered your drinks.
So shortly after she got us our drinks, some kid ran up to the Dragonborn and handed it a note.
So like your drinks would have been arriving by now.
Oh,
You guys could have
okay.
talked a little bit if you wanted to. Uh,
Yeah, I definitely wanted to talk a
so
little bit.
so right before this happens, what would you want to be talking about?
Yeah, like I said, I told the lady about the first round of drinks for everybody. It'd be on me, and she took all our drinks. It looks like a lot of us got water. I don't know if that costs money, but um, I take a deep breath and I kind of look around and I kind of look my brother in his eyes for a sec to kind of like, well, here we go, kind of look, and I uh, I I say like, well, I think we should start introducing ourselves since we needed to kind of get to know each other, considering our circumstances. And I start by telling them, my name is Malak, and this is my brother Lazarus. We're from the Marwood family, and until recently, we been traveling on the road as healers.
Oh,
And
the two of you are healers?
yeah,
I saw you be warriors from the way you're dressing.
well, we sometimes bandits on the road. You got to learn to toughen up and be a little street smart, considering we've been on the road for most of our adolescence life too. So,
Where are you from?
not really anywhere. Um, Me and my brother's family is been quite nomadic, uh, due to circumstances.
Mm. Uh, so for the DM, since I am kind of with the background I have, uh, should I know about the family or the name at least?
No.
Okay. Alright, so I'll just talk to the other people. I'll just ask Joe Shafet. Is it Joe Shafet?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Don't hold.
Hold. Why are you on this journey? Are you just here for the mark?
I was a traveling mercenary. Mark showed up and pulled me here. So I had to figure out what's going on so I can get back to my jobs.
I'll
And you,
go.
Tyrion, all the
Yeah,
way from the
Tyrion.
north.
Dear, are you there?
He's muted.
Sorry. So yes, I've been on a long journey. Let's say there's something I'm looking for.
So since you have that bow with you, you are a hunter in the north.
Well, it is a small town, but I learned to hunt from a very young age, so that stick to me till now.
Mm. We get people from Frosthaven where I was.
I don't remember. Did I see his dragon with him right before he entered the town, or
Nope.
I didn't? Okay.
So at
Sorry,
this moment,
what's the question?
so at this moment, this is when the teenage half elf would have arrived and given Josephet the letter as the kid runs off.
What is that? I'll ask him.
I was told to give this to you.
No, I was asking Josephat.
Oh,
I would read it, and all I would say is it's from our feathered friend, and he has a mark. But I wouldn't say anything else that was in it.
Would I have seen what was written on the note?
You could look at it
On
if
the
you
Raven?
wanted to.
No, I mean from the...
On the Raven, no.
This
Can I
Fed
take a
just
look
said
at the
what's on the
note?
note. He didn't like share it with us, like put it on the table or anything.
Yeah, no, I just read it and then said that he had to mark, and he's here to meet us.
Can I take a look at it?
Did the kid stay next to him,
The,
or did
He
he?
ran off.
Did
He ran
the
off.
kid ran off?
the kid ran off.
I'll ask Joseph. Can I take a look at the letter?
Can I draw, like, a crude eye? Not the exact same as our symbol, but close enough where if you saw it, you would...
Well, no, I would have said he was marked like us. That's what I
Yeah.
said. Is he has a
No,
mark
no,
like we do.
but that's what I'm doing is drawing a parchment to put next to the mug to say that, trying to hint to him that we have a mark as well, but no one else.
Oh, out the window. No, I gotcha.
So
He knows we have a mark though, Lazarus.
He does? I didn't know.
Yeah, he saw us all with our hands up, showing it to
Oh,
each
yeah,
other.
okay.
Yep.
I'll go
Other
to
than
that
me.
one.
Yeah.
That's why he put the mark on the paper to let us know that he's a marked one. Thea, what would you want to do with the note?
Oh, I was just wondering if I could read it, and I'm guessing yes.
Yep.
Yep.
If-
Alright, yeah, and I would just read it. We probably already got the information,
Yeah,
anyways.
Joseph already read it to you guys, so if Joseph
Yeah.
wants, he can give you the letter to read yourself again.
All right.
I guess, yeah.
So you all kind of look over the letter. What are you guys doing about it?
Yeah, I kind of look at it after Thea, and kind of look at it like, well, I kind of, looked at Thea who just read it before me. I was like, well, obviously we had an idea that he was marked, but maybe we need to meet somewhere. Well, did it say anything about him being on the run? What did the note say again?
He
It
said
says
he
he's
was on the run. Yeah, he said he was wanted. So
So I looked at it. I looked at everything. I was like, I think he wants to meet us somewhere less crowded. If he's someone on the run, probably probably he's obviously a very cautious individual. Maybe that we need to go somewhere more private. Any ideas where y'all would feel safe to go?
I was thinking the field to the north, but before that, let me call the innkeeper to me again.
All right. So you get. Are you wanting the innkeeper or are you wanting the waitress?
The lady from earlier.
All right. So you call her over, and she's like, "Oh, yes. What can I do for you today?"
Yeah. So when I was entering the town, I went past this think was a field, and I heard a few people talking about a goblin attack of some sort. Could you tell us more about that?
Oh yeah. It's rather recent. There's been a couple of goblin sightings around here. Luckily, the guards seem to have been warding them off, but some of the farmers in the fields further north were recently attacked, and a few of them were killed. Their crops burnt. It's kind of scary.
Okay. Well, if you were to meet those farmers again, tell them that they can find a job at Ashport to the north.
Uh, will do.
All right. Thank you very much. And I would just wave her goodbye.
She waves you.
Or wave her off, basically.
She does like a little bow and goes off to the other people in the tavern, giving them their food and drinks.
As soon as he's done with that, I look at her like, well, we obviously need to meet with this guy, and he's too scared to come in here. So we definitely should try to meet somewhere where he's willing to approach us. We could go to the forest to the east, right shortly outside of town, or we can go to the northwest or the north, either or.
Doesn't matter to me.
Any objections?
I say we maybe stay away from the goblins.
Do you guys think anyone else has noticed we have a mark? Or there's only us?
Well, I was pretty quiet, pretty careful about it, and I would just give the two brothers a look.
My raven hasn't spotted anything either, or anything out of the ordinary. Besides present company, of course.
I honestly haven't been very cautious. I don't even have a glove to cover it.
I kind of quell the notion. Like I say, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. It's quite commonplace for there to be factions who have special tattoos or marks. It's
They probably
nothing out of
just
that ordinary. It's just as an identifier, they were part of something, and that's not uncommon in a world this vast. So
they
I wouldn't be
probably
too
just
concerned about it.
yeah, they probably just see us as sorcerers or something.
Or those chosen for a divine being. It makes us special, but doesn't make us necessarily suspicious.
Well, we don't really know anything about this mark yet, do we?
No,
Do you remember how you acquired this mark? Cause I can't seem to remember.
I was just reading one day, and I felt something on the palm of my hand, and when I look at it, it was there.
As a DM question, as a wizard, would I have done any sort of background checking for this Arcana check or something like that to see
So
on the mark?
you can, all you really can tell from the mark from your own studies is that the mark is definitely some form of magic, but it doesn't seem to come from any school that mortals would know of.
I assume I would have shared this information with my brother.
That's your choice.
You have any
I
advice?
also would just. I'm assuming that it isn't magic that you can dispel, because I have the ability to dispel magic.
Yes, you would have tried, if you wanted to, you could have tried to dispel it and it would have done nothing.
Okay, that's what I assumed. Yep. Um, whoever was saying about not understanding like what the mark is or what it could be. I forget who
That would
said
be
that,
me.
but I agree with you. We don't really know what that is, but we definitely need to link up with this other individual. Maybe he's had an experience that might help us find out more information. And if not, then we can at least see if there's more people by zeroing out the sensation I feel in my hand that's pointing me towards somebody who has the mark.
Yeah, I'd say if we were trying to meet our bird friend, maybe we should go somewhere where there isn't many people. We were talking about the north or the east earlier, right?
I look over to my brother Lazarus. I was like, Lazarus, can you kind of look up in use the Raven to look around to see if there's an area nearby that is unoccupied or seems secluded enough that maybe we can lure our friend to meet us?
Yes, there's by the river seems to be pretty sparse, as well as the plains to the east on the just outside the road, but might have travelers over there. The forest to the north look pretty thick.
Uh, DM, is that true that the area along the bank is not like occupied according to the Raven?
There is
It
nobody by
looks
the bank currently.
Sure, I will be down to go there.
Yeah, is everyone in agreement that we head off to towards the bank of the river?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think it would be wise to meet there, not the road. Less chance of people coming up on us.
Before that, should we get like each of us get a room in the town for now, since we might be here for some time?
I'd say wait until we know if we have to leave town or not first.
Yeah, don't want to pay up before we know we gotta actually stay.
Fair enough. I mean,
And
I
if there
think
ain't
the
enough
next.
rooms, then we can just share a room.
Yep, so
Mm.
the round of drinks that everybody got, it would cost 1 gold, by the way, before you leave.
All right. Yeah, I pay up. We pay for the water?
Yeah, because
Holy.
Damn.
it's purified water and fresh.
All right. Yeah, I'll pay the 5 gold.
No, for the whole round. So it's only one gold.
That's cheap.
Oh. All
Oh,
right. All right.
nice.
1 gold. Yeah. I I kind of flick the coin onto the table. Um, as we're leaving.
And I will just quickly like talk to Tyrion. I would just be like, where I was in Ashport, this sort of thing don't really cost any money. So if you were to go back to your hometown, since it's on the way, maybe you should pay our town a little visit.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alright.
I'm always down to get to know new places, and I actually miss my hometown a lot, so that would be great.
Alright, wonderful.
All right, so you all eventually make it over. You leave the inn and you make it over to the water bank. Loki, do you go and follow them to the riverbank?
Yes, I do have one question though. How big is Joseph at?
7 foot tall.
So you cast a fairly big shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do follow them, and I, as quickly as possible, I appear before the group, but I appear to them underneath Joseph's shadow.
I assume my Raven's just been watching him do this too.
Mm-hmm. So
Before he comes over here, when we come over to the riverbank, I was doing a perception roll to see, do we see anybody, and if there is somebody, does anyone appear to be like, do they stand out?
um, you see like there's one person, but he's a little bit further down, and he seems to be fishing and not paying any heed to you guys. Seems like an older gentleman just minding his own business, enjoying the weather.
Playing far enough, north, further up the river or down the river?
Down the river.
Okay.
It's like somewhere like here.
Yeah, it'd be somewhere like all the way down there.
Oh, wait, that's the north?
That's the south. North is
Wait,
up,
but
south is down.
yeah, but you said it's fine. It's fine.
So, because y'all are kind of just standing there, from behind Josephet, you see the Kenku kind of poke his head out. Um, what are you saying to him, Floki?
I I state that I have a mark, and I know that you guys too, and that I believe the best possible way for me to get what I need is to follow.
Uh, so do anybody in our entire group have seen him on like a wanted poster somewhere or not? Or like can we
Roll a history check.
do all of us roll or
If you want to.
no?
Lazarus? Oh,
I
Yeah.
did.
yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, I swear I thought I just seen.
Would I roll history too, or?
If you
Yeah,
want to.
if you want, yeah.
Going once, going twice. So, yeah, no one really has seen a wanted poster for him. Uh, so you're not really for sure what he would be necessarily talking about.
Um, with my background, I have sort of like knowledge about like guards and stuff a little bit. Would I've heard like, is he someone I would have maybe heard from guard talk?
um, even from that down here at least, it hasn't seemed any news of that. Um, you heard the most you've ever heard about a recent crime was someone robbing a bank up in Skyport, but all of the suspects there were already caught and arrested.
Which Skyport?
It would be more towards North Skyport.
Gotcha.
This guy is on the run, but he's not a big enough criminal that he's known throughout the land.
So I wouldn't be too worried about him.
Since my Raven's just watching him come up, I assume I can nudge my brother saying he's coming or give him an
He's
indication.
already there.
Okay, well, okay. I didn't know how fast he was walking up.
Somehow lives in shadows. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how that works.
Well, he said he was coming up behind Josephet. So when you guys arrived there and were kind of looking around, that's when.
As we're walking to the bank, he like just jumps in behind Josephet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am like 7 foot, 400 pounds, so like he would be small enough to fit in my shadow.
Yeah, no. I just want to make sure that's how it played out.
Yeah, that's how it played out.
I was just okay. Yeah, we know you're big as shit.
Well, I'm just saying that it wouldn't be hard for him with his stealth rolls to pop in there.
Yeah.
Except my Raven's just been watching him this whole time after he failed that.
It doesn't matter if he's seen him or not. He literally pops out immediately as he gets here. So even if you nudge and tell me he's here, and he pops out immediately and starts talking. I'm just curious. Are we all shocked? Are we scared? Do we get startled? Because he just kind of jumps in behind the big dude and literally just kind of peeks out behind and like, hey.
That would be up to you to decide how your characters would react to that. It's not gonna be. So when it comes to something like that, I don't force emotion. But
Yeah.
Joseph, I
'cause he's
wouldn't.
not
I wouldn't
trying-
be. I wouldn't have
'cause
been
he's not-
surprised.
Yeah, because he's not
So sorry.
trying to scare you.
Yeah, I would have been expecting it since we were kind of. That's kind of our intention of coming here, anyways.
So you're all by the riverbank now, all 6 of you. It's fairly quiet. You hear the streams of the river just going by. You can hear the distant crowd of people talking. What are you guys talking about exactly?
Yeah, as we were walking up, I'm like, kind of talking openly, like not quietly, to my brother. I was like, well, hopefully, by us getting over here, coming over to the riverbank where it's secluded, he, well, will come to us. And I literally like turn around to, as we come to a stop, like in a good spot, I immediately turn around towards their, the group, and we all kind of, and then I immediately see Loki, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess he's here already. And that's how I greet Floki as he kind of pops out from behind Josephet.
Yeah,
I just
I would do
look
I
Yeah,
would do
I
the
just look at.
bowing.
Sorry.
It's like a more feminine one than the previous one that I did to the two brothers.
So, Flucky, are you showing them your mark as Tyrion shows you his?
I quickly lift up my sleeve and show the mark, and then quickly conceal it again.
So, is anyone else showing them his? Are you guys showing him? Or the only one who you still have a pulse for it would be Thea, unless if she shows you her mark. But
So I should probably still feel the. So do I still feel the pulse towards
as you
him
see
if I don't show it?
So as you saw his, the pulse goes away. So the only one he still has a pulse for is you. Because
I would.
Yeah,
Do I know
Thea-
that?
you don't know that. I was just letting him know that he still has a pulse for you because you haven't revealed your mark to him yet.
Yeah.
I would turn around to Thea, and then look back at the rest of the party and ask if they all still can sense her.
Oh, I don't sense her anymore. Thea has shown her mark to me and my brother.
I thought she never took her. I thought she never took the glove off though.
I did earlier to them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So Tyrion,
Mhm.
Josephet, and Floki still sense Thea. You guys can tell him that if you want to or not.
Mhm. So, Thea, I haven't seen your mark. Do you have one too?
Oh, yes, of course. And I would take my gloves off.
Alright. So all of the pulsing is now done. As you guys have all met. What are you guys discussing about between the six of you as you now in this more secluded spot? Just it's probably about 1:30 in the afternoon.
As soon as Thea shows off her mark again to the groups, I asked the question, does anybody, I immediately, because it stopped when I seen Floki's mark, but I wanted to know, I was like, I noticed that the pulsing has stopped as soon as Floki showed me hit their symbol, but does anyone else sense anything still?
No.
No.
I'm not sensing anything.
Well, it looks like it's just us then. And does anybody have any ideas of what this mark is? Because me and my brother have tried to remove the mark with magic. We've tried to study it,
We got nothing.
and we got nothing.
Well, you two are healers, right?
I mean, we tried to heal it, but it isn't a scar or it isn't damage.
Well, I was more thinking of, are you two clerics?
I'm a cleric.
You're a cleric.
I'm a wizard.
Have you
My
told
brother's
the
a wizard.
church about it?
No, not the church. The deity I believe in isn't represented at the church.
Well, I tried to find, I was reading books in our family's library about it, and I couldn't figure anything out either.
Well, my town's shaman didn't really know about it much either. When I went to him to check, he just told me to be cautious with it. Probably not show it around everywhere.
Loki, you have an idea?
No, I don't. I know nothing. I am
I have a
just.
question for the DM.
Sure.
Did you mention something about farmers being set on fire or something like that?
There was a few farmers who died due to a goblin attack.
Okay.
Maybe we should check it out since the mark kind of pointed us to this town, right? So there probably is something about this town. Maybe something have to do with those goblins?
Or at least
Are you
something.
just saying this out of character, or are you saying this in character?
In person,
'Cause
in character.
It
Why
might
would a
not be.
goblin have anything to do with a mark?
Perhaps the
I don't
same
know.
thing
I feel
drawing
like
us.
this town's pretty special. Maybe, this is one of the
I'm-
only unordinary things here.
Perhaps the same thing drawing us to the towns, drawing the goblins.
We could also go ask the priesthood in the town, right? We haven't really spoken to them yet.
I think we should actually try to figure out if how long these attacks have been going on.
I think they said pretty recently, right?
Yeah, they started fairly recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe around
So-
the time that we only got our mark pretty recently too, right? So
I mean, yes, something is clearly provoking the goblins.
well, do you guys wanna kind of spread around through the town and kind of see if we can get some information? And we can meet at the inn maybe before nightfall.
I think if we split up, we could gather more information. So that's a good idea.
I'm gonna look at Floki and tell him he's with me because he can hide in my shadow.
No, by the way, out of character, is that like an ability for Kenku or?
No, it wouldn't necessarily he can hide in your shadow, but like He can fall
I'm big
underground.
enough. Yeah, I'm big enough
Oh,
to hide behind.
He would
I
just be
see.
inconspicuous with him.
So just like a actual physical size to
Yeah,
him.
like
Okay.
halflings can do it too. Like it's
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
usually smaller characters can.
The way I'm kind of
Alright,
viewing it is more of like with him around, it just seems inconspicuous. It's just these two people walking around
cool.
like buddies.
I feel the safest underneath his shadow. So throughout this whole campaign, I'm just gonna be in his shadow.
And a best friendship in campaign has been formed.
Oh, and by the way, can we all see like the Deuterian just being carrying that sack of chicken with him, like out?
You just have
Yes,
you just
the
carrying a
entire time.
straw chicken this entire time.
I'm probably
This
gonna
entire
ask
time,
about
yeah.
what that's about.
Oh,
I
this
mean,
chicken?
Yeah,
if anyone asks about it, they can ask about it. But if they don't, you don't have to
I
talk
will
about
ask
it.
about it.
I think that us splitting up to gather information is a good idea, but I think we shouldn't. I think we should go into groups of 3.
I will go along.
I obviously want to stick with my brother, so I guess we could take Thea
Um,
if you
I
want to
think
join us, and we can go to the church,
sure, that sounds good.
and then maybe the next group y'all could find some sort of government building in the area, like a
Would I
either.
have noticed the town hall? I could probably maybe point them to that direction.
You don't know exactly where the town hall is, but you could probably ask around and find it pretty easily.
Well, I mean, like when my raven was flying around, did I notice anything?
Oh yeah.
That
For the town hall, it would be this big building up here.
Can I point them that may be the town hall then? Since I wouldn't know for sure, I guess.
You tell them you can tell them that it's the big building with a dark red roof.
Okay.
I would point out in character though that maybe not having the wanted man go into the town hall would be wise.
Do you not have some sort of disguise kit or something? Maybe a spell.
I can go to the town hall. I am a noble family to the north, anyways. So how about I go with the group of Joseph and Floki, and Terran go with the two brothers.
As Thea says that, that Thea mentions that she's from a noble family. Well, especially me, I mentioned Hey, hold up, you're from a noble family.
Oh yes,
And what would be?
newly formed one.
What is your family name?
Oh, my family name is Nilo. You can find us in Ashport to the north.
Do you hold any titles, Thea?
Yeah, but we're the highest noble family in the local region, but not very large name in the entire land.
Oh well, this is good news to know that we have somebody of your character with us. Again, let me reintroduce me and my brother, Malik and Lazarus Marwood. Maybe not a known family anymore, but it's definitely of noble blood.
Hmm.
And
I was interested about that earlier.
we bow ourselves to you, and I forgive our brashness when approaching you earlier.
Oh,
But
I don't mind it.
What I would suggest is that I take Terran and Floki, and then we go out into the woods, since obviously Terran has lived off the land at least a bit. Floki doesn't want to be seen, and I'm a soldier who has experience looking for things just to see if we can scout anything and then come back with information.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe you guys can look at the side of the town, the south side of the town, where the market and the people are, and we can go to the church, orphanage, and the town hall.
So are you more wanting to explore like the northern farmland that's been burned and attacked then?
Yeah, yes, my guy actually would, because he would want to investigate that.
Alright.
Okay.
Since he's a former town guard.
I
That's
think-
not a character,
yeah.
though.
I think we will get better answers going directly to where the attack was. or at least close to it.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
So when you guys are ready to split off, we'll let. Are you guys ready to split off then?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned to Thea that we should definitely. She's right, and that we should go to the town hall since they're going to go check the source of the location to talk to whoever's in charge around here.
The local clergy.
All right. So we're
Yeah.
gonna start with
Uh,
the
I
group
got.
going.
Give me one. I just got one thing for Floki though before we go. Sorry. I'm gonna look at him and tell him if any guards come up, just to stay hidden, and I'll do the talking since I was a former guard.
I nod and I nod in agreement.
So we're gonna start with the group heading north into the farmland. Tyrion, by the way, are you gonna be picking your dragon up when you head north towards the farmland?
Yeah.
So
So since I can speak dragon, can I talk to his dragon?
um,
If you speak Draconic, we can actually both talk in Draconic.
Yeah, my character gets draconic.
yep.
Yes.
So as you guys head north, you see the Tyrion, you see Zed kind of walk out. He looks he's not very fluent with speaking just yet, as he is kind of a baby. Um, and he looks very hungry. Like he's can kind of open his mouth. He goes like ah.
I grab the chicken and just throw it to him.
He devours it, bones and all, rather quickly. As you see him lick his lips, and he goes like ah, and this little bit of frost essence comes out as he lets out a little bit of a burp. Uh,
He loves chicken.
so Floki and Joseph, you see this probably about the size of like a little dog, but it's a drake. It's blue, like a bluish white. So
It's mainly blue. He has a white under his belly. So yeah.
I would say hello to it in draconic.
it understands what you're saying, but it doesn't really have a way to reply, as it's not. Like you said, it's kind of a baby. And it just looks at you and goes like ah, and gives you a little smile.
Yeah, Joe. I just nod.
What's Floki doing about this little dragon?
I just observe in silence.
Alright. So you guys head up north.
After-
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, after that, I just pet him a little bit.
You give him a little pets, and he kind of like his back leg kind of hits the ground a little bit, kind of like when you scratch a dog. Uh, so you guys walk north, probably about a solid 20 minutes or so, and where you find fields just burnt. You see a couple of houses that have like their doors crushed in. You do see like a couple of people walking through in and out of the house with a few belongings that are left. You see this woman. She has like a black eye, and she doesn't seem to be doing too hot.
Can I roll an investigation check? Because that's what he's gonna do when he gets there. Start investigating.
Roll a perception check first to see if you can find anything. So, investigation's putting details together. So like, you find, like, essentially, let's say that you find clues. You'd roll investigation to put the clues together. Use perception to find the clues. Alright, so you definitely see goblin footprints. Or you see footprints that don't look like normal. Like you see barefoot footprints basically. And since you're looking for goblins, they're rather small, so you can tell that these are goblin footprints. You see them running through. You find a couple of goblin-sized swords and spears. You do notice, though, that there is a much bigger footprint amongst these in this field. By the way, Tyrion and Floki, what are you guys doing as well? Are you just like what are you exactly you two trying to do in this situation?
Well, I am going to tell Ted to kind of scout the area.
All right, so you can roll perception checks as well.
Hmm.
Floki, are you there?
Yeah, I also look around and investigate while still maintaining. Will I still stand in Josephette's shadow?
Yep. So go ahead and roll perception as well. Alrighty. So you all kind of notice that these footprints lead back into the woods a little ways. Um, Not wanting to go too far into the woods though. You do notice that there are amongst all these goblin footprints, there's these two larger footprints. They seem to be bigger than what most of the people in the town would have had. You're not quite sure what they would be, but you can try to roll a survival check to see if you're interested.
I'm going.
I'm going in, yeah.
You're going into the woods?
I think we should.
I would say to exercise caution at this point until we actually figure out what
So,
we're dealing with.
if you want to exercise caution, you can also roll me stealth checks to just try to
No,
stealth.
I'm meaning just not to go into the woods
Oh.
just yet is what I'm trying to tell them. I'm talking to them,
Okay.
saying I would advise caution until we know what we're dealing with first.
Mm, maybe. So, what we acquired the information that there's this goblin footprints that lead to the woods. Maybe it's a good idea to get the other guys before we go in.
Well, I want to ask you, what do you know what this big track is? What I'm trying to ask. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, because I know the other ones are goblins. I'm trying to figure out what the big one is first. That's why I'm exercising caution.
There, I do tap on Josephette's shoulder and tell him that there are hobgoblins normally with goblins, but it's
Would your character know that though?
can I intelligence check or what?
It'd be a history check.
As my can I do a history check as
Yeah.
my
We can make it just see what works with goblins. So, looking through here, with a history check, there's several different types of creatures that work with goblins. And with these big of footprints, you can rule out probably hobgoblins, as they typically are just a little bit bigger than goblins. But you're not for sure what would have made these footprints.
what do the footprints look like? Are they humanoid or
Roll a survival check.
animal?
They don't look animal, but you can tell that they're. So for all of you who rolled the survival checks, looking at these big footprints, they definitely are wearing some sort of shoes. So you can tell that they seem to be a bit more civilized, maybe, than the goblins.
How much heavier?
Very heavy. You can like if it rained, there'd be a puddle in those footprints.
So, because since I was a soldier, just a question in Town Garden, I would have probably had to go outside of the town. Would I be able to tell that they look like they would be armored then?
Not knowing what kind of creature is with them, it makes it kind of hard to tell if they were armored because you don't know how big it is. But you do find metal scraps around, so you do know that the goblins at least have some form of scrapped armor. So you can make an assumption that maybe this big creature has armor on him.
Can I do an investigation check to try to make a theory?
Sure. So it definitely looks like these goblins are where the big tracks are. It seems like the goblins don't walk, or always are walking behind him. So it seems like whatever this big creature is leading these goblins.
Yeah, I would turn and say that whatever the bigger thing is does seem to be the leader, which means they might actually have tactics information. So yeah, we should exercise caution at this point.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should. Maybe we should go tell the guys about what we found out.
That would probably be the wisest decision.
Alright, so you guys returning to town then?
Yeah.
Alright.
We are. I'm
So,
just gonna, like before, I'm gonna tell my Sad to stay in the forest,
he's
but
gonna
close to town.
he's gonna give you another little sad look and run off into the woods. Uh, to the group that went to um the church and or the temple and orphanage, you guys arrive. What exactly are you trying to find there?
All right, which one did we go first? Because we
Okay, which one
kind of
would you
talked about
guys?
going to the town hall first,
Okay.
right, Thea?
Yep. So which one would you guys want to go to first?
Town hall.
I'm good with either of them. That's one of
Thea,
the town hall.
Pardon?
you go to town hall.
Yes.
All right. So you guys head over to the town hall. Uh, outside you see that there's a poster for different like little jobs that they're wanting. Like you see one about shoveling manure for a couple of gold. Um, you do see any information involving goblins or location of a goblin den would also reward award, as well as for every goblin ear that could be brought, you would get 10 gold.
So what does the town hall look like on the inside?
So when you go inside, it's not too fancy. There's carpet in some areas, but the rest is mostly wood. You see that it starts off. It looks like this town hall used to be originally a house. So it's not. So when you go in, you see instantly stairs going up to the second floor, but you also kind of see that there's a little bit of a desk with a chair and this older dwarf lady sitting there. You can see her gray hair coming down. She has glasses on. You see her just kind of like writing very slowly. As you guys walk in, she's like, "Well, hello, dearies. What can I do for you today? What brings you to our town hall?"
Before we go in, I want to make a remark to my brother, and I mean Thea, if she's like right on us, she would hear it too. I was like, we see the posters, and I make a remark to like, is this an Adventures Guild or the town hall?
Looks like a old house to me.
I mean, I kind of make a point like, looks like they're paying for years of goblins, 10 gold. It's not bad.
Yeah, that two got 20 gold per goblin. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's good. It's good counting, brother. Uh, yeah, it's unless he has anything to say about what we had, that's all we would have talked, probably said before walking in.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have said anything, and I would just walk up to the dwarven lady and just greet her real quick, and ask her if if there's any maps of sorts to the north side of the town.
Um, she pulls out like this old map. You can tell there's some holes in it where it's been eaten by moths probably over the years. It's not necessarily the best. And she kind of like lays it down on the desk. She's like, "This is the map that I have. It's a little old, but what interests you about the northern parts of the farmlands?"
Yeah, do you greet people as a noble, or do you try to?
I'll just play it low.
Yeah, like I just want to know if like when meeting people, do you mention like I'm Lady so and so from the house of,
Oh no,
or you do like what we do where we're
we are. Well, I'm a newly formed noble, so I wouldn't have that practice yet.
oh okay, so you're not very educated on customs and courtesies.
Uh, I was a merchant before my nobility, so I would have some knowledge of that sort, but I don't present myself as a noble, so none of those kind of introductions.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Alright. So where are you trying to get from this old town map?
So I was just kind of looking, like, you know, where perhaps the goblins would be from, what spots they might be going towards, that sort of stuff. Since the goblin was to the north side, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
unfortunately with this map, it doesn't really go over too much of like the forested area. You see like little trees for the forest area, but no details what's inside of them. As it's more just like it just kind of has this open spot that kind of just has written on it farms.
The individual who I'm sorry, the individual who the dwarf lady, did she mention a title or anything or like a name so like we know who we're
No,
talking to?
no one asked her name. They just went up and said, "Do you have a map?" And she said, "Sure." You
Yeah, I just assumed it was like a worker there, so.
you can ask her name if you would like.
Yeah, yeah, I will ask. You know,
Um,
hey, dwarven lady.
So she looks at you. She's like, "My name is Greta, and who might you be?"
Oh, my name is Sia. You can call me Mistress Sia.
And I maybe rudely kind of butt in. I'm Malik, and this is my brother Lazarus.
Well,
I'll
nice.
give a nod.
Always nice to see new people in our village. Uh, Newcomers are not always here. Usually they come and go. With that though,
Dia, are you really short again? I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember your
I'm
description.
5'4".
5'4"?
Yeah.
Because I'm not like too tall myself. I'm only 5'10". My brother is taller than me at 6 foot. I just didn't know like what was a height difference. So like I didn't know when I kind of
Think of
butted in.
like
It was like
below.
around the side, the shoulder, or if I was just right, basically standing above, behind you, but obviously higher.
Yeah, so basically like slightly below average for female heights.
Okay, gotcha.
yep. So you guys are looking at Greta's map. She just kind of sits there. You see that she's chewing on probably some sort of like hard candy. Um, but she's very sweet and kind.
So I would just probably pay no mind to the candy that he's chewing or she's chewing, huh? Just ask her real quick. You know, in this little small town right here, like I'm assuming, um, there shouldn't be too many issues outside of the goblin attacks that have been happening recently. So I was just
Those pesky things. They came from nowhere. We about a week or so ago started wreaking chaos. Luckily, the guards seem to be keeping them out of bay from the city or from the village itself, but the other parts they're harder to patrol.
yeah,
Ma'am,
but I was
ma'am, I'm sorry, ma'am. You don't got a better like area map than this town map?
Maybe one with topography.
Uh, she she thinks for a second. She's like, sadly, we don't have a much better map. Uh, Maybe if you tried going to one of the towns further north, they might have better maps around here. But
Would would you consider yourself pretty familiar with your home area though?
I've lived here my whole life. I don't.
So I mean, you could probably draw some landmarks that are loosely, useful. Like if you just drew, some sort of map maybe that was crude, but could be useful in some capacity.
Like, what are you wanting a map of?
A little bit more of the outskirts. You might be familiar with just some of the local outskirt areas that aren't provided on this map per se.
You mean more like
Maybe there's a
the forest area?
forest area, maybe a little bit down the roads. Any landmarks that are noteworthy, or just like is there caves nearby, etc., etc.
Ruins.
Maybe even locations of folk tales or myths.
Um, she goes like, well, There was a lake I used to go visit back in my youngin' days. A little bit, maybe about an hour or two walk from here north. It was quite beautiful. They called it the Lake of Love. It's where I found my husband at. And now
I'm shooting Lazarus eyes of like, come on, lady. Like,
she's definitely going through the old back in my days kind of rant. If she goes on for a little bit, and then she goes like, and now my husband runs his town as the mayor.
oh, your husband's the mayor.
Yes, but he's not in today. He's gone with some patrols into the woods to see about trying to figure out where these goblins were at.
How many patrols do you have? This seems like a small village.
Repeat that question again.
How many patrols do she have? I mean, this is a pretty small village, is it not?
There's only really one patrol.
Oh. And that one patrol was able to fend off the goblins?
Well, some of our residents, they help defend, but they're not the best at fighting. And we got a few guards. Of course, there's the temple that has a few people of notable power that assist as well.
With
You know,
the
about when you say the temple, you mean the church, right?
Yeah, it's a temple.
I was kind of wondering about that actually. You know, this is a pretty small town. Why is there a orphanage here?
Well, sometimes the orphanage was started by the head priestess. Her name is Autumn, and she's always just loved children. And sometimes there's just children who end up being abandoned here by traveling people. And so we started an orphanage. It's just quite a shame that people, traveling merchants and such, will just leave their children behind. But,
ma'am, are you saying your town is a hot spot for abandoned children that didn't even come from here?
well, the orphanage isn't that big. It used to
Looks
be.
it looks like one of the biggest building in the entire village.
Well,
It's bigger than the town hall.
the orphanage also serves as other things as well.
The abandoned kid business is booming.
We probably have about 6 to 10 orphans in there.
Would you think it would be appropriate for us to maybe ask the sister if we can, you know, hire a few of the orphans to help us out and to find some information in town? We'll pay handsomely.
Hire orphans?
Yeah, have them, you know, ask around the town to see if anybody knows more about the situation.
Right now, I know there's a few new orphans there who families died to the recent goblin attacks, so I don't know if the high priestess would really let you talk to them. They are quite emotionally distraught.
Don't worry, I understand. I'm pretty close with the priesthood in my area too.
Well, it's always good to have more clerics around.
Maybe I'll consider it. Right. So I will talk to the two brothers. So I think we should go talk to the priestess since it sounded like she has
How
some.
far away from the dwarf lady when we start talking to each other are we? Like, are we out
So
of
I will
earshot if we're
still
talking
be.
quietly?
Yeah, I
Or
will
you
be
just
talking
turn?
quietly in like the. So we haven't left the building yet. So I just finished
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. I just want to know if we talk to each other, if we're in earshot the dwarf lady. That's all.
Yeah,
DM.
I'll just try to keep it low, but I don't really care if she hears or not.
Wait. I gestured to you when you try to talk that I kind of want to move out of earshot range or talk quietly.
Alright, and I would just greet her goodbye, and we just kind of go outside of the
Well, I
town
don't
hall.
want to leave the building just yet either.
Oh, okay. Oh, then we can just like
Yeah.
go to like the doorway and just talk.
This is obviously a smaller building. I needed to know from the DM if there's a place that we can be out of range of earshot,
Um,
or if
you
we
could
needed
probably
to leave the building.
you'd probably have to leave the building to really be out of earshot. Like I said, this is just basically a house turned into a town hall.
Yeah.
Okay. While he was talking, I kind of was like looking around in the midst of a conversation. What do I see? Like, we're obviously in the center entrance of the house. We see a stairway going up. Can I easily see into any other rooms around us, or are there door closed, etc., etc.?
So
Do I
there's
see
a
like the mayor's office? Can I see his office?
yeah. So the what used to probably be a living room now
Yeah.
seems to have been turned into more of an office. As you see bookshelves and another desk with piles of paperwork. Um, you also see that behind a room next to the desk of Gwendolyn, or not Gwendolyn, uh, of the female old dwarf. That there's also seems to be like a kitchen with a table set up already for seemingly dinner. You also get a sense of something being cooked in the kitchen.
Do
Uh,
can I? Do I when I have a sense for something being cooked? Do I smell the food?
yes, you smell the food. It smells like a type of pork.
Okay. When looking at the dwarf lady, she didn't look malnourished or anything. She looked pretty. Like, how did her clothes look? Does they look pretty decent off being the mayor's wife?
They don't look any like nobility per se. They look like they're doing well for
Well,
themselves.
I'm just wondering if they're like merchant class level type wealth. Like, do they
Yeah,
look pretty well
they're
off?
about merchant class level.
And I don't see anything that stands out in the mayor's office. Like, I don't see any.
Roll a perception check.
I did when I asked the question when I was looking around. I did the 20.
Okay. Um, you don't see anything too much. It looks like a standard office with papers. You see, kind of just like a nice chair. Uh, you do see that on the floor though, there's a few scratch marks where it looks like furniture has been moved over time, but the scratch marks are very faded.
Okay. Um, before we walk away, I asked the dwarf lady, Greta, right? Greta. Hey, Greta, did you? I might have missed it. Did you happen to say exactly what direction your husband and the town guard headed off to fight the goblins?
Well, I don't know if they're fighting though. They're just trying to see where they came from, but they went north.
Okay, all right. Thank you. That's good information. Appreciate it. And I wish you and your husband all the best.
Alright, and I will greet her goodbye too.
All right. So are you guys heading to the church then?
Yeah.
No,
So
we were
we're
gonna
probably
stop and talk outside the door. I
yeah.
was
So we're
gonna.
gonna talk about where we're going.
As soon as we get outside the door, I kind of stop and ask him. He's like, "Oh, you. I didn't know that you were close with the clergy."
Oh yes, I mean, you know, the noble family always, we are the noble of the area, so it's probably the best to get to know the people around there.
All right. Um, you think that the children would be actually a good choice for gathering information?
Um, I can go talk to the orphanage. If you want.
Are you
Since you,
suspicious of the orphanage?
I'm
Because
not really suspicious.
I'm inclined to agree that the orphanage is kind of large for this area.
Yeah, but the priestess have been fighting off the monsters. I wouldn't mind too much. You know what? Since you are the cleric, how about you and your brother go talk to the priestess or try to get in touch with her in the church, and I will go check out the orphanage myself.
Be careful. Um, orphanages could be a breeding ground for a lot of different things.
Don't worry, I doubt it'll be fine for them to, make a nobility go away.
All right. So you're
Um,
heading to the temple then.
Yeah, so I think the two brothers are going to the temple, and I'm going to the orphanage.
Yeah, we'll kind of like split up in the
Yeah,
that
but
little
it's in
area real
like the
quick.
same courtyard, so it's not
Yeah.
much issue.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna start with the temple. So as you guys go inside, uh, you see that the first main hall.
What time is it about now? I know a lot of the stuff
Um,
for the other group is all happening while we're doing this, but
yeah. So I would say it's probably reaching about 3 p.m. ish.
okay.
Yeah,
Um,
we have plenty of time. What are the
Oh,
other
what
groups
what day
doing,
of the
by the
week?
way?
What is the what day of the week? Are we
uh,
nearing like
it's
stuff? Like
probably
church
about
time?
midweek.
Okay, so this isn't
Midweek.
like a
And
Sunday,
yeah,
Saturday.
well, they don't do normal church times. You have to remember this is an actual like real life. So there's always just people at the temple.
Yep.
I thought
All right.
D&D had like Sunday, but it was a different
Don't worry,
name.
this is like a homebrew, so it's
Yeah,
it's alright.
Oh, okay.
I don't use the full pantheon like that.
Yeah.
So when you go into the temple, you see this. It's not a big statue of the god of Helm, but you do see a little. It's probably about the size of a normal person. You can definitely see the wear and tear on it, as you do see a couple of people praying to it. You see a little bit of a um, bowl with water for people to kind of wash their hands with. You can see that's a little dirty. You do see a priestess though in this white gown. You see a little bit of blood spattered on her as she's walking out of the door into the main room. As she's talking to one of the other priestesses, and you hear, I don't know if this one's gonna make it. The wounds are quite severe on him. As you see both the priestesses kind of run off back into the room to the side.
Um,
Uh,
we approach the sister and Lazarus. Do you have something?
yeah, I said quite a bit of work here to do, brother.
Yeah, I see. I think we might be able to gain some favor if we help them out a little bit. Maybe we might be able to get some information or something. And after I say that, I immediately called to who I think might be Sister Autumn. I kind of yell as I'm aggressively walking towards them. I would say like an aggressive pace. Sister Autumn, do you have a moment?
Neither of them look at you, as neither of them are as they don't seem to recognize the name Sister Autumn, or not recognize, but go to Sister Autumn, and they're like, "Sister Autumn's busy right now. Please come back. Well, we're dealing with some serious injuries." As they quickly kind of run off into.
They don't even let me. They don't let me even say anything back before. Like
They seem
they
to
run
be.
away.
They seem very. Well, it's. They seem in like very urgent state, like they're trying to save someone's life urgent.
Okay. So they're kind of saying this as they're walking. They're running back into that other room, right?
Yes.
As they respond and say that I definitely want to follow them, and yeah, I was like, I can, he's like, I'm a healer, I can help.
One of them, the one without the blood, she's like, "Well then, hurry up and come in. We could always use more help." Are you walking to the room with them?
Yeah, I kind of pull my sleeves up a little bit, as I kind of walk in there to assess the situation.
So when you walk
And,
in, you see that there's two bodies on these beds. One that's more recovered, but there's one, and you can see the bed sheets are covered in blood. You do see that there's this other female in there. She has red hair, freckles. She's not very pale, as she's been out of the sun quite a bit. She has a nice tan to her. You can tell that she is tired, though, looking at her face, as you see that she's wearing this full heavy armor. As you can still see some of the white robes coming through the armor. As the one priestess that was a little bit covered, she goes, "Sister Autumn, I went and got Sister Miriam. Is he going to make it?" And you see that she's currently has her hands trying to heal this man. What are you doing?
I roll for perception because I want to know. You said there's two individuals. One of them looks mostly recovered, right?
Yes.
And then the other one is obviously got wounds. Is there medical equipment that I can use on this individual in the area that would?
I have alchemist supplies. I was going to ask that too, if I could look for any.
You see that all the medical supplies they have is currently around him. And the two individuals, by the way, are both men.
The two people we saw earlier. Oh, well, the two bodies. Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
they're both alive, but you can see that the one laying on the bed covered in blood, his chest is rising quite fast as he's barely holding on.
Since they have medical supplies in the area, would I be able to use my medicine skill to try to heal him?
Sure, roll a medicine check.
Before I do that, though, I just wanted to see if I since they have the supplies there, I wanted to know if that was an ability. Does anyone else see me follow them into the room to the help? And I've been given a green light to try to help since I kind of chased the.
So the sister that basically said hurry up, she does go to the High Priestess Autumn and does seem to let her know that you've come to help. As you see that Autumn isn't really paying attention to you. She's more focused on trying to get this body back in working condition to where he won't die.
Yeah, as soon as I walk in and I feel like I've been given the green light, like I said, I kind of look around for equipment and immediately go to the body that seems to be in dire need of help, and grab medical supplies to start fixing them up.
Alright, so you spend probably a good solid 10 minutes doing this, by the way. Is you're working with Sister Autumn, she's helping you and you're helping her, as eventually you're able to get him stabilized. As you see his breathing starting to relax, you are able to get the wound cleaned up, as he has this big gash on his side. Um, you see a couple of other marks on, or cuts on him, from where it seems he got into quite a bit of a fight with these goblins, and you're able to get him patched up, clean him up a little bit. He is still currently unconscious, but he's alive. As you see,
Are we so busy while we're doing this that little bits of small talk can't be made?
little bits of small talk can be made.
Questions I would say, as I'm kind of helping out, we're trying to get this guy together. I'm assuming this succeeded, by the way, that we did succeed in healing.
Yes.
I was like, as I'm closing them up, I'm making references about these wounds. It's like, where do these wounds come from?
You see, Sister Autumn. By the way,
She's the one helping me, right?
Yep. By the way, Lazarus, in the corner, you see that there is a bloody mace. In a corner.
I've actually been wanting to look around for alchemy supplies that way, and I could ask if I could use my profession or my proficiency in alchemy supplies to help make medicines or salves or that sort of stuff.
Okay. So you don't really find too many alchemy supplies. Like, you find a couple of herbs that have a little bit of healing property to them, but they don't seem to have too much.
Can I ask a priest then, or suggest I'm an alchemist as well? Do you need any help making salves or potions?
She hands you this bowl and tells you to grind up these herbs, so that way they can make a powder for him and try to.
I guess I'll. Would I know what salve he's making?
It's just like a standard little healing balm. It wouldn't do too much, but it helps keep the wounds from getting infected.
Okay. Would I need to do a skill check for the alchemy?
No, because it's just like grinding the herbs up.
Okay.
You would know how to do that. It's like beginner stuff.
Well, I mean, I was going to make the whole The whole salve itself.
Oh, the whole self? Yeah, go ahead and roll me.
Since I already know what he's doing.
Yep, go ahead and roll me. Check for that. Yep, so you're able to make the salve. You actually make it a little bit better than what they probably would have done. And you hand it to Malik as they work with it. Um, Malik, as you were asking questions about what would have done this, you see that also on this tray, you see like this bit of a dagger that the size of a goblin would have had, and you see about two of them. And she's like, these pesky goblins, I don't know where they came from. I pray that they would go away, but they keep causing a ruckus, and I'm getting scared that they might try to attack the village one day.
Um, I also, when she says that, I was like, are these gentlemen part of the guard?
No, these two are just peaceful farmers that were unfortunate and got attacked.
Damn.
You see that the one that is on the bed, he kind of gets up. He has a little bit of a limp to him, and he goes over and he's just like, "Is he gonna be all right?"
I think between me and Sister Autumn, I think he's gonna pull through.
You see him give a sigh of relief as he leans over and kisses the forehead of the man on there. He's like, "You're gonna be all right." As one of the other sisters comes over and he's like, you need to go lay back down. You're still healing." As she kind of escorts him back to the bed.
Um, After we've done stitch this guy back up, does he come? Does he become conscious, or does he stay?
He's just stable. He's breathing. There's still been a lot of damage done to him. He's not, so he's still unconscious.
Yeah. So as soon as like we stitch him up or whatever, I go over. I wash my hands in the like a. I assume there's a bucket of water or some source of water
There's a bucket of water for you to wash your hands and get the
to
blood
clean
out.
myself up. Yeah.
Yep. And as you're
Um.
doing that, Sister Al goes over. She's like, "I appreciate your help. Where'd you get the healing skills like that?"
Me and my brother Lazarus, healing is a family trade. We're from a long lineage of healers of both the body and the soul.
Oh, may I ask, what kind of lineage?
We are the Marwood family. Me and my brother, the last two heirs, as far as we know though.
She looks at you. She's like, "I remember my mother saying something about a family like that, but this was long ago."
Yeah, sadly, our family isn't really known anymore.
Uh,
Um, but less about me. I heard you're actually pretty strong of a cleric yourself.
well, someone has to defend the ones who can't. And that is what I seek to do, defend the village from anything that would seek to harm it, even if it kills me. You can see visibly how tired she is. You can see that she's been up constantly, on not sleeping like she should. Uh, and like I said, you see the mace in the corner, a little bit bloody. You see that the battle scars on not only her, but on her armor that she's still wearing.
Yeah, Sister Autumn, I hate to ask, but me and my brother here were actually trying to gather information on these goblins. So we plan to try to take care of them for the city or for the town.
That would
And
be a blessing and an answer to my prayers, but right now I know that the mayor led a group of brave men and women to go see about scouting out, but they haven't returned. They left early this morning.
Do you know where they went?
They went north. They were following tracks from the farmlands.
Is there any landmarks that way you could give us any sort of clue to where more detailed location?
There's a lake about a 30-minute walk once you enter into the forest from the farmlands, and a rock in the shape of more. It's more in the shape of a apple.
Quite a strange rock. Thank you for the information.
Another question. Sister Autumn, is there anyone else in town that you think could use the skills of a healer?
Besides us three, no. Not a very big town.
No
No
patients.
kids? No kids in the orphanage dealing with pneumonia
Oh, I thought you said
or
as a.
some sick?
I thought you said people with skills as a healer. My apologies.
No, I mean people who require the skills of a healer
Um.
is what I was asking.
Well, I know there's an old couple in some of the outskirts heading south that they're more reclusive, but I go and check up on them every couple of days to make sure they're alright and bring them some herbs so that way.
This a poor, poor family, wealthy family,
They're not
by chance?
they're not very rich nor they they thrive more off of their own farm. Sometimes his
Sounds
wife.
like they're healthy and strong. Anyone else?
Mm, not really that I take care of that I don't take care of myself.
And the children, they're good too.
Yes, one of our sisters runs the orphanage. It's not very big, as it also serves as the town's food storage as well. But we got a few rooms there that they able to use.
All the kids are good. They're no little miscreants or thievery going on there.
I wouldn't say about miscreants, but they're healthy. Uh, they there's a few that get into trouble, but they are kids.
I'm sorry, you didn't mention the name of the sister who's running the orphanage. What was her name again?
Her name is Sister. One second.
Not important name.
Sister Zion.
All right, sister, I appreciate everything you've done here, and without you, it none of this would have been possible. You should really rest, and hopefully by the next time we meet, this golem issue will no longer be a problem for your town.
I pray so as well. And again, thank you for your help.
I signaled to Lazarus, let's wrap it up, kind of. I can get out of here.
Uh,
So, with you guys leaving, Thea, you kind of go into the orphanage. You see that there's about 3 rooms. One room that's kind of like a nursery kind of setup. It has like a wooden horse, a couple of books, some toys, nothing too fancy. And you see that the 2 rooms are separated, one for boys and one for girls. There's only two. You see that only two. There's like 3 beds in each, or not 3 beds. There's a couple of beds in each one. The girls only have like. There's only 2 girls in there. The rest are boys. And you see that of all the beds, the sheets in there are clean. As you do see one of a sister kind of walk in. Are you being stealthy, by the way?
No, I'm just kind of walking in as like a visitor of sort.
So as you walk in, one of the sisters looks at you. She's like, may I help you?
Oh yes, of course. So I was kind of wondering about this orphanage. So do you know where these children come from?
Well, right now we have a couple of children whose parents just recently have gone on to a better existence, and a few who just been abandoned or lost by travelers. There's also one that's family just passed away of natural causes one night, and they're here.
Hmm.
We try not to get
So,
too much into them as it's sensitive topics, but we seek to give them a good life and hopefully find them families one day.
hmm. About how old are these children?
They
And
range.
are they all human?
They're a mix. We have one that's a Aarakocra. A couple are human. There's a tiefling, but both of her horns are currently growing back up as they were kind of broken when she arrived to us. Uh, it's a little bit of a mix.
Hmm.
Take one as a pet.
Oh God.
Would you? That's actually what I was thinking, by the way.
No,
Um,
no, no, no,
so I was just
no.
wondering. No,
Hey,
so
no
I
one
was
said we can't
wondering.
buy children. It isn't that bad.
You're not buying children.
Sounds kind of bad. Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna be completely honest. That was where I was going with.
Yeah, you.
By the way.
They're not gonna let you just buy a child.
Okay. So I'm just gonna talk to the sister and be like, we were adventurers, and well, I'm personally a merchant. Well, we're coming from out of town, and we're here for some business, and we have heard about the goblin attack that happened in the north. So we kind of want to help out with the situation. So I was wondering if it's fine for us to uh, maybe hire some of the children around the area and see if they could go around the town for us and help us gather some information. We'll pay pretty handsomely
She
for
gives you a very
their
weird
service.
look, and she's like, "These children have already gone through enough. Let them be. Let them enjoy what childhood they have."
Well, they will have to, go into life one day, wouldn't they?
They already help with the farms. Some of them are out there helping now on their own free will.
Hmm. Around how old did you let them go?
Usually, one's more into their going into puberty are the ones who we allow to go work into the farms. Uh, the younger ones either stay here and play in the town or go into
Hmm.
the nursery as they see fit.
Hmm. Who is founding this orphanage?
Funding.
Yeah.
She's like, I was like, any donations that we get from the temple we use. We try
We
to.
can't buy the children. We're gonna buy the place.
God.
Uh,
She's just like, the town helps keep everything up and running.
hmm. Well, thank you for at least talking to me, I guess. Do you know what's some other good place where we can go, find some manpower that could help us out with this venture?
Maybe more of the tavern.
The tavern.
Get some of those junks out of there and doing something with their lives.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, I guess.
You too, as you kind of get this feeling that she's weirded out by you a bit.
Yeah. And I would just, left a piece of gold on the counter while leaving.
Alright. So as you get back into the courtyard, you meet up with Lazarus and Malik. Um, are you guys? What are you guys doing?
As soon as we sort of probably end up in the courtyard relatively at the same time, or we arrive late. I immediately ask uh I immediately ask her, "Do you find anything interesting in there?"
Um, Not really. Looks fine.
Weren't able to hire any help.
No.
I asked. We ended up running into Sister Autumn in there, and wasn't I asked about the orphanage, but she didn't really provide too much. But she did tell us that the same information we found from Greta that the mayor and all them have headed north to find the goblins. But nothing new information wise.
Yeah, I think for us, at this point, the most that we could do is maybe meet up with the other three, see what they find, and maybe we could go out and see if we can find the mayor ourselves, since he was probably going to be the best use for us out of everyone else in town.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I tried to squeeze as much information out of Sister Autumn as I could, but
Oh, is that her name?
yeah.
Mm. Well,
I had
is
to mention
she?
it earlier. I didn't know if we would run into her, but we did.
I see. Um, is she of power?
She's a fighter, but how strong I don't know. She
Mm,
obviously looks like she wears armor like
I
all the
see.
time, so seems to be ready, which is very interesting that someone in such a peaceful town would be wearing their armor even while in the church.
Hmm.
So maybe these goblin attacks are a lot more vicious or frequent than Greta leads on.
Perhaps. Well, I suppose we should go see if we can find the other three then.
So you guys heading back to the tavern then?
Sure.
No, oh wait.
Well, you can decide.
I was going to use my raven to see if we could just spot the other group around town.
Well, I would have said to head to the taverns. What I would have told the other two.
Yeah, we said earlier to head to the tavern. So
Yeah, but I don't know if we're finishing up before you, or if you've already at
You
the
guys could be
tavern.
finishing up
and
before them. You could be waiting at the tavern for them though.
Okay,
no.
that works then.
But yeah, it just kind of, I guess, would be self-explanatory that we would have used the Raven just to see if we seen them out there in the area, and we didn't, so we would head to the tavern anyways.
On the way to the tavern, I will probably be talking to the two brothers, and whether we should spend the night here or whether we should prepare to go tomorrow morning, or just going tonight, since it's like maybe 4 p.m. now, 5.
It's about once you guys would all arrive at the tavern, probably be about 5:30.
Yeah, it's a little bit
Yeah.
later in the day, so
The me and my brother, being human, I mean, we have torches, but we don't got dark vision, so
I'm an elf. I can see in the dark, so
yeah, we're at an extreme
That doesn't help
disadvantage.
us though.
I mean, again, we could have torches. It just seems like an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
But the longer we wait, the more likely that the mayor could die out there or succeed.
yeah. Let's wait
But
tomorrow
we
morning.
definitely,
Oh,
yeah,
we
we
can
definitely
talk
need
to
more
the
information from the other group.
yeah, we can talk to the other group when they come then. All right. Well, we'll be heading to the tavern, I guess.
Alright, so you get to the tavern in about 30-ish minutes later. The other group arrives. So it's about 5:30. The sun's starting to set a little bit. Um, People are starting to arrive in the tavern en masse. So Floki and Joseph, are you both gonna be going to the tavern, or is Floki gonna try to hide outside of the tavern?
I just from this point forward, I just follow Josephet.
Alright, so
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
in.
'cause,
I have to fill
you
the other
know,
group in.
Yeah, and because I'm humanoid, recognized as humanoid, so I just feel the most comfortable around the only non-human. Then,
Hey, elf is not a human, so
Maybe on our conversation,
you look like
on
one.
our way to the tavern, I could mention that that bird person, Floki, he seems to be he's on the run obviously, and he's worried about being seen. You don't have like a disguise kit, do you?
I don't.
No, I'm talking about Thea.
So as you guys are walking back, you do see that there is a merchant there who is selling cloaks.
yeah. So personally, I could only disguise myself. So if we were to disguise somebody else, we'll have to purchase clothes. I do have 2 sets of clothing though. But
I
none
have
of them are
I
really
I,
of the size.
I have also an extra set of robes that I could lend him, but we'll see what he wants to do when we see him next.
So at this time, you all kind of get back into the same. It's the same table for the most part that she sits you in. There's people playing some music. People are drinking. It's getting a little bit more full than usual. Uh, so you all kind of just are able to get there, relax. If you're wanting rooms, it's 2 gold for the night for each person.
So we can start talking about this first. Um, would you guys stay the night here, or do and we can go out during the evening and see if we can gather some material, some maybe potions of some sort. And we can go check out the forest tomorrow, or do you want to just go tonight? Just
I would probably say not that we wouldn't ask those questions. I would ask when the other group arrived at the table. I think we would want to know if they found anything.
So we found what looked like a fairly organized goblin attack, and they have some sort of leader that is a lot bigger than they are, and looks like it's actually like whatever it is actually looks like it's wearing boots.
You said organized the goblin attack, so these aren't just sporadic.
They
Would
had
I-
armor. They had armor and weapons, is what it looked like.
Would he be able to give me a description enough that I can take a Arcana check for monster information or something like
It
that?
would be a history or survival check for more of a monster information, but all he saw was footprints.
He couldn't give me a description of the footprints, like their shape.
Just
I can
bigger
roll a
and heavier.
survival. I could roll a survival
So-
check to see if.
The most he found out about the footprints is that the big one was wearing actual shoes.
And it seemed to be leading the goblins, like they were behind him the entire time.
So is that a yes or no? I'm rolling survival to see if I can
You can try.
figure something out from that information.
You can try. You certainly
All
can
right.
try.
I'll take that roll too. We both got 20.
So, thinking about it, what you've read before, goblins work with all sorts of creatures, and it's kind of hard to decide which one this could be. This could even just be. So you're not necessarily for sure.
Do we have a list? Like, do we have a group of creatures that we can like?
It's
You just said they work with other creatures.
it's
That
an-
could be.
it,
Are we talking
with the-
trolls?
with the
Or are you
type-
talking anything?
They're
It's-
heavy too, so that
it's a
would.
it's a heavy, probably large size humanoid. That's what you can gather for the most part.
But we wouldn't know a list of monsters that would fit that description.
No, we just know that it's something big, which
Okay.
is
Fair enough. That's fair.
useless. It's the same information that we got from the big footprint, which is
Yeah.
fair considering all we have is a big footprint.
There is only a handful of, in this kind of countryside, I doubt there's any really high level ones. So, there is like only a small handful that really fits this match. But yeah,
No, what's
Um,
more,
I'm sorry, talk.
it's in character. What's more worrying is the goblins having actual armor and more than just crude weapons is what's worrying. Normally you wouldn't.
Yeah,
find
that
as
is
much.
that is kind of weird. That means that they're getting it from somewhere or they're making it. Making it is unlikely. I feel like they would be getting it from somewhere. We talked to the mayor's wife, and we talked to the what I believe to be the head priestess of the town. Turns out the mayor went up north looking for the goblins. You didn't happen to run into them, did you?
We didn't go very far. We just went to the farms. We didn't go into the forest once we figured out.
Didn't find any dead soldiers? Or
No,
guard?
just farmers that were hurt.
Shouldn't they be back by now?
I mean, we haven't been looking outside the tavern door, to see if they've come back yet, though. But if we went looking, yeah, I feel they would be back before dark.
Even if they're not, it wouldn't be advised. I wouldn't advise going out into the dark when most of us can't see. And torches would
Yeah.
just give our position away. And if they're organized enough to attack farms like that and get out without leaving very many bodies and very much evidence, then they're probably going to be organized enough to orchestrate an ambush for us.
Well, head count real quick. How many of us can actually see in the dark?
So I think it's me, Josephat, and Floki.
No, Dragonborn do not have dark vision.
So probably just me and Floki then.
Tyrion doesn't have dark vision.
Not yet.
No one has spells that can give it?
Any
Maybe
spell that produces
Stead
light,
has,
if it
but-
isn't dark vision, it's
I do
still
have light.
too risky.
I do have light.
Yeah,
Oh,
but if they're
I don't
organized, it's
have-
still too dangerous because they could be surround us and we wouldn't know it. We would only see what's in front of us.
So perhaps we'll just be going out tomorrow morning then?
That would be probably the most. Tomorrow morning
Yeah.
or into the afternoon, one of the two, because we may want
An early,
rise up.
yeah, an early wake would probably be. So by the time we got into the general area, it would be daylight, so we can spend maximum time on the trail in the light.
Would it at least be worthwhile to go after that patrol?
Not
Uh,
not at night, I wouldn't
perhaps.
say.
Yeah, perhaps it might return by tomorrow morning already. But if
I
they
mean,
have
if
not,
they're dead, they're dead. I mean,
yeah,
we're not going to find it. We're not going to change their outcome by looking for them tonight.
yeah.
Fair
It's
enough.
probably
Okay, I would
too
basically
late.
say, look, probably have the most combat experience out of everybody, especially in organized skirmishes. And I can tell you from experience that running headlong into a situation where you have disadvantage is very costly.
Yeah, I have been advising to just take the night here. So
I agree. Seen a lot of dead people, and usually they die definitely in during times where it's dark out. So
yeah.
I have to agree.
On a second note, actually, the church of the town is the Church of Helm, right?
Yes.
I do believe so this is in character, by the way. I do believe the symbol of the helm is a eye on a hand.
You didn't want to mention this earlier?
I just kind of remembered it now. And you know, with the entire eye in the hand thing going on with us at this moment.
It's a all-seeing eye upon a right-hand gauntlet, by the way. And it's not the
Yeah.
same eye symbol.
Yeah. But you know, since we're being drawn to this town, and this is here, I'm not sure if there's a coincidence or there's some connection of sort. But
Well, me and Lazarus did do the head priestess a favor, and I imagine ridding the town of goblins would even be a double whammy.
They'll be
So-
owing us.
I feel like if we, on top of the favor that we've already provided, and being a known commodity to be reliable, if we complete another task and make a little coin, we noticed that they are paying for goblin ears. So there's 2 per goblin, so that's 20 gold a goblin. So let's make sure we get out there and collect those ears. We can make a quick buck and maybe find out some information about this hand.
I'll be down for it.
But I think we're all in agreement that staying here for the night is our best course of action.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna call over the waitress from earlier and just ask her about like the pricing for the rooms here and how many beds are in each room.
So each room has 2 beds. So 2 people can share a room if you want to. Otherwise, you would have to pay 2 gold for each person.
Okay. So I am nobility, so I'll just pay 2 gold since I have the money. I'll get a room for myself.
I assume we're splitting a gold each, brother.
Yeah.
Alright.
I would ask the same to Floki.
Yes.
Alright, so as you all pay your gold for your rooms, are you guys just going straight to the bed as it gets dark later into the night?
I would.
Is that Goliath still there behind the counter?
Yes, he is.
Interesting.
You think we
Before
will
the
be able
lady
to...
that for the room walks away after we turn, hey, what's the story with the Goliath behind the counter?
She looks at you. She's like, he doesn't really talk too much, but from what I heard, he's from a long line of fighters who once fought in a great war, and apparently he lost his eye in a duel. He doesn't really talk too much about it.
Does he have a name?
Uh, we just call him Grosh.
Grosh?
Grosh.
Alright, I appreciate it, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You get your interest, brother.
Just pretty interesting that Goliath would be working at a tavern, that's all, brother.
You wanna maybe talk to him to see if he could help us out with our venture?
Plausibly, but I'm definitely more interested in getting sleep first.
Alright. Well, it is like 6 p.m. at this point.
It could be a little bit later tonight if you guys want it to.
So
I
I
am
was
free.
thinking of going to check out like some shops and see if there's any accessories. Like if there's like a potion shop,
There's not really a
blacksmith.
there's not really a potion shop, but there is like a little trolley that has a few potions that you walked by.
On that
I'll take a
topic,
look.
Thea, do you mind if me and my, unless Lazarus doesn't want to, me and my brother come with you?
I wouldn't mind.
DM question though, I assume we're using Tishana's Cauldron of Everything rules for potion making, so that's get enough materials, which is half the cost of the potion, spend 8 hours, and then do a DC check, and based on the result, it's the grade of the potion?
Yep, as long as you have all the components for it.
Okay. And I assume we can buy those components?
You're not sure if you're going to be able to buy them all here.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I'll go check out the trolley. If the two brothers wanna come with me, I'm fine.
Is anybody else wanting to go check out the little shopping square?
I would have just went to bed. Would have went up to the room at that point.
Yeah, Tyrion was very tired,
Oh,
and he just
Karen,
went
did you
straight
come
to
back
bed.
with your dragon?
No, he is in the forest.
You gonna leave him out all night?
Alright, I just didn't know if I just remember you got that little baby dragon. I was like, hey, wait a minute, did I not take notice of the dragon being the first time seeing it?
I would have let you know
Nah.
about the dragon if you would have saw it.
Alright,
Um,
fair enough.
So, Floki, are you going to be going to the room with Josephette?
No, I fell asleep.
But
Well,
I have a question.
well, you fall asleep, but where are you falling asleep at? Like, are you
Oh, I went back to the room. Yes.
Alright, so you're in the room with Josephette then.
So, what's the room situation? So, the two brothers sharing one, Josephette and Floki. So, I'm getting my own room. So, I guess Tyrion's also getting his own room?
I mean, if I can share it.
I'm a female, so that's probably not gonna work on this side. But
Well, that will be 2 gold.
Yep.
And I have a
Not
question.
chicken shit around here, brother.
Can I call the set from here? Is it like very far away?
You could call Zed. Because he can go through the astral plane to get to you.
Okay. Then before going to bed, I just call Sad, so he's in my room.
Yep, So you spend about an hour or so summoning him, and as he goes flying through this little bit of a portal as he's now in the room with you. Is he
Perfect.
looks at you and he's like, ha! He just gives you a little smile.
I just go over to the bed and go to sleep, and I tell Seth to do the same.
He curls up into your side, kind of like a dog does, and falls asleep. Uh, as for the people who go to the potion trolley, one second, I'll grab my notes. Uh, you go and you see that there's this female human. She's about to be closing up shop here soon. As you're able to get her stopped, right before she does, she's like, "Aye, what can I do for you today?"
Oh, is there what kind of potion do you have on sale, or if there's any other equipment, I would like to know about it too.
Well, I'm closing shop up for the day. I don't have much left. I have a couple of minor healing potions for the most part, about 20 gold each.
Hmm, might be
FYI, me
going.
and Lazarus are with him, standing behind her.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, so I will be, talking to her, and I will kind of start to bring out a little bit of my noble status out a little bit, and be talking. I'm a nobility, far north. I was wondering if you could lower the price to maybe 15 gold piece each, and maybe in the future.
Roll a
Yeah.
persuasion check.
Which
Uh,
check?
persuasion?
Persuasion check. There we go.
Yeah, she rolled a nat 20.
Holy. Okay. Well, I will pay for 20 for minor healing. Sure. Why
You
not?
have 20 gold?
I'm noble, so I have and plus my class. So start with 50. Left one at the orphanage, two for the room, so I still have like 47.
Alright.
So
So
let me
for
get
120 gold, you have a
27.
minor healing potion that heals 1d4 plus 1.
Okay, let me add that.
I'll ask her, where do you get your potions? You make them in house?
Well, I travel around. I'm a traveling merchant, and for now I'm here. I'm heading up north currently to buy some more ingredients. Uh, Luckily, I'm allowed in Evergreen, and they have plenty of herbs, spices, and anything you can think of there.
Do you have ingredients yourself? I'm a bit of an alchemist myself, so I prefer to
I don't really have too
make my own.
much left over, but I could probably sell you maybe enough to start the craft of a little bit of a healing potion, but it wouldn't be too much. You'd have to still get a bit more.
The question, how much would that actually be? I
Uh, she would
That's
sell
like,
it. She would sell it to you for probably about 2 gold. It's not enough to really make a potion.
okay.
It'd be like
Two
this.
gold worth of supplies?
Yeah. So
Okay. I guess I'll buy that.
yeah, you could tell that since it's getting later today, most of her stock has been sold out. Especially since she's a traveling merchant, and she says she's starting to head north to get more merchandise.
Uh, I'll ask her, do you know any other herbalists nearby that might also have some more ingredients?
In this town, no, but the capital for the north, Zelagat Ghazi, there's a big greenhouse there, and an alchemist there who makes all sorts of wonderful potions. He's the one who taught me how to make my potions.
Very nice.
You could also go to the alchemist school over in Skyport. They train people there in the ways of alchemy.
Nothing local, though. That's a shame.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just kind of how little villages are. That's why there's a nice little bit of a profit to be made with coming over this way.
I guess that's it for me then.
Okay. So you guys heading back in, or what you doing?
Yeah, I
Um,
was just
I
gonna
was
sleep.
making small talk with the you know. So Thea, I stop me if you feel that it's from imposing, but I am very intrigued about your family and how it came to be.
Oh yes. So we were a merchant in the town of Ashenshore. What's it called again? Ashenport. We are the largest. It's a little fishing village, or I guess not village. It's a pretty decent sized city in the coast. We are the dominant fishing merchants in the city, and eventually, since we have contributed a lot to the infrastructure and everything of the town, we have gained the noble status for the city. So it only happened like a few years ago. So
And then how old are you again?
I am around 270, 300.
Oh, so you've spent a majority of your life as a commoner, though.
Uh, we are a little bit higher, I suppose, being merchant class.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
But
At least it seems to be better than your situation with your brother, huh?
sadly, yes. Descendants of nobles, but our family is very much no has withered away over generations.
Well,
Uh,
you two are, I suppose, always welcomed in Ashenport. You can just come for our the ask around for the Nilo family. Everybody in the town knows about us. So
um, out of character question, have you mentioned what you actually are, like your class or anything like that?
I have not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Uh, back in character. I kind of been wondering what your skill set is this whole time. We've mentioned that we're healers, but I don't recall ever hearing what exactly you can do.
I have studied some magic, sorcery of sorts.
Anything particular catch your fancy in terms
I'm
of
opening
types
to
of magic?
I'm opening to all sorts of knowledge.
Any useful skills that you're particularly good at? One of
Oh,
my specialties is the ability to um, boost other people's abilities. It's an ability given to me by my deity. So
well, I was, I had been part of a pretty wealthy family my whole life. Never had to really, involve myself with combat. Most of my magics that I've studied are for more general purposes per se.
interesting. I appreciate you being so candid. Um, being that me and my brother's family, um, his family has withered away and has almost ceased in existence in the memory of most. Um, it's always just a nice to talk to another noble. Well, technicality and blood at this point.
Yes. I wouldn't mind it much. It's not much to me, the noble status. I value I value knowledge and wealth over this kind of fictitious titles.
I don't particularly agree with that, but I understand. I me and my brother, if we could, we would definitely appreciate bringing the our family name back to glory, but We're trying.
Well, if you're thinking of using some sort of wealth of sorts, always feel free to come to Arshenport.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind for sure.
Alright.
I don't have any other questions, so
Alright. Well,
we go back
I'll
to the
just
tavern. So
yeah, I'll bid them good night, and I'll just go back to my room.
To
So
cover my bases, I probably should have done a perception check for the other merchants in the stall, see if they had anything, just to cover
most
my
of the
bases.
merchants have been closing up shop already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it is about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, about now.
I guess I'll
So-
just have to try tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So real fast, Josephat, Floki, as you two are sharing a room, are you saying anything to each other as you enter the room and get ready for bed or anything?
I don't think I would. I would just tell them see you in the morning and just go to bed.
Same. I just
there's a bed that
Preferences
fits
are
your
that-
ass.
I
Beats the off the edge.
I
You sure
just
you didn't have to push both beds together and he had to use like a corner of the bed?
yeah I laid in the corner on the wood floor to begin with.
There's 2 beds, so
Oh, there's 2 beds.
yeah.
I sleep under the bed.
Yeah, I would have just. I guess I would. Yeah, I would have just pushed both of them together so we could just sleep under it. I guess.
I was about to say if you're under the bed and he's on top of it, it's gonna be like Step Brothers. The bed's just gonna crash down on.
I think two. I think 2 beds
So-
could hold 400 pounds.
Yep, so as you all kind of start going to sleep, the night goes by for the most part as smoke starts filling the air. With Thea, Tyron, you both wake up as smoke is entering your rooms. As you hear screaming coming from the outside, and looking through the window, you can see fire.
Does my raven not wake me up?
You didn't say you were using your raven to wake you to keep watch.
I
over
don't.
me.
I don't know if that thing even sleeps. It's a familiar, so I'm not even sure if it does sleep.
Got that damn raven.
Yeah, you didn't say that your raven was keeping watch, by the way. So
Okay,
I
that's fair.
apologize. So unfortunately for now, Tyrion
I hate that
and
smell.
Thea, what are you guys doing? As both of you guys sense smoke.
So, personally, I will quickly take the daggers I have and I will break open the window and start running out of the door and start, knocking on. Because I assumed I know where the other ones are sleeping. So I'll just start knocking on their door and trying to get them away.
So you kind of get everybody up. As all of you get up, you hear screaming, noises of battle. You see fire coming from the outside. Are you guys rushing out?
Yeah, Josephat would just.
I didn't get
throw
out of
his-
bed.
Throw his armor, shield, and axe out. Just go.
I'll open the window and send the raven out to get a look out of what's happening.
I will be following them, but I will be behind them.
Alright. So
I'm still in bed.
So I'll
Who's
be
still
like
in-
right here.
Who's still in bed?
I am still in bed. I'm very reluctant.
Lazarus.
Your brother might be yelling at me, but I'm very reluctant to get up and out of bed.
Alright.
What do I see first? Do I see goblins?
You see goblins in the town killing people. Fires burning as they set the town ablaze.
I'll shake my brother. Brother, gold came to us this time.
What? What are you
Oh.
saying? Gold?
Gold?
Gold? I don't know about that, brother.
It's like, how about a good scrap? That wake you up?
Say what?
A good scrap.
What
Fight.
about a good scrap?
A fight.
Yeah, I eventually kind of wake up. Not necessarily keen on the scrap thing, just like realizing that my brother's been talking to me and he won't shut the fuck up, so I wake up.
Alright, so with that, since everyone else, I believe, said they ran out of the building, correct?
Yeah, I run out of the building.
Alright, so so everyone except for Malik and Lazarus, go ahead and position yourselves in marching order in the yellow square.
Where's the inn? And
Yeah, I said I was.
The inn is right here.
do I see them from the window?
Yes, you see that everyone else is waking up and run outside.
I'm
Except
at
for
the goblins, but
Oh yeah, you see the goblins outside.
and is the inn on fire?
The
Is
inn
that
is
what I see?
They are yes, they are throwing torches and lighting the inn on fire.
Okay.
God damn, Lazarus, you couldn't tell me that the fucking inn's on fire? I would have woke up way quicker.
He cares more about the gold than the
I mean, I kind of signaled to that, when I was knocking on their doors, but
Yep. So for so
Uh,
is
do I
everybody
see the fires? And what is the size of the fires? Because I could.
some of the buildings are completely engulfed in flames while other
For
buildings are just
the
starting.
inn. You said they were just starting
The
to light, right?
the side of the inn is currently on fire and it looks like it's starting to spread.
Okay, I was going to try and use investigation to just snuff it, but
I mean, you can see the
Will we
fire
try to
going
put
up.
out the fire or
Yeah, you can
try
see
to
the
stop the goblins?
I am in an elevated position with clear sight and cover. Why would I give up my
because you have
cover?
your raven.
What?
I thought you said you were looking through your raven.
I am, but if I can shoot the goblins from the window with
Oh, if
cover.
you're from in the window, you can't see the goblin, or like you
Oh,
can see some
okay.
of the goblins, but you can't really see like too much.
Then
Isn't
I
there like
Yeah,
smoke?
then I'll
yeah, there's
follow them out.
smoke and
Yeah.
everything too. So,
Yeah, I thought when you said I could see them from the window.
oh.
yeah, let me roll initiative, I guess, so we can start
Yes,
that.
it's rolling initiative time and position yourself in marching order in the yellow square if you've run outside. If not, then you'll be able to come in the next round. Make sure you click on your token when you roll initiative, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I still keep the 19?
Yes, you
I
will.
forgot to click on it.
You
Uh,
can change it in the initiative turret.
as I'm running out the door, can I cast mage armor on myself?
Yes.
It didn't work.
You have to click on your token and then click the initiative, so it adds to the same.
God dang it, stupid computer.
So, did we make it in time to be in the initiative roll, or did we not?
For you two, no. You'll have to wait till.
Okay.
You can roll initiative, but you won't be taking your turn. Your turn will basically be getting out of the building.
Alright. Am I giving up another turn by taking one action before I get out of the building?
I would say you would do it as you run out of the building.
Because I'm going to bless my armor before I run out.
No,
Oh, I don't think Terran have.
It doesn't seem to
rolled
have
yet.
any time associated with using that ability.
If it says action, or it usually will say.
It just
like,
says you gain the ability to imbue magic armor. Basically, the bonus once you do this feature, you can't use it again until your next long rest. It doesn't actually say time, so I just assume it's just an action.
Yeah, I would say it's your action, because it's a minor imbuing. So, let's see. Everyone rolled their initiative.
I think Tyrion
I think I
haven't
didn't.
done it yet.
I think I
I'm
did.
still missing. I'm missing Tyrion and Malik's initiatives.
Yeah.
So make sure you click on your token to roll your initiative. You rolled Zed, so you don't need to roll Zeds.
I think I rolled said, sorry. Here.
You can just roll yours and use the 19 for your own.
So.
Hmm.
There we go, and then 19. That.
Low initiative, anyways.
Yep, so. With that starting as Tyrion, Josephet, and Floki run out of the building as they hear the screams of people and the cackling of goblins. You see that you go into the courtyard or this like shopping courtyard area as you just see goblins lighting things up as Tyrion, it is your turn. Remember, Zed also takes his turn on your turn. You can use your bonus action to have him do things.
Okay. So I'm gonna use a spell.
Alright.
Hunter's Mark.
Are these 5-foot squares?
Yes.
Meant to be 5-foot squares? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just use a ruler too.
Yep.
I know, I just wanted to make sure, because
Some of our spells have like ranges, like area of effects. So
Yes. Every square is 5 feet. So you're putting Hunter's Mark on which one?
On
Click dipping. Click and hold.
I have to hold. I always do control thing. So this one right here, I set the hunter's mark, and after it, I shoot him with the bow.
All right, roll to hit.
That would be right here. With an arrow or with the
It'd be
longbow?
your longbow attack.
Okay.
So on your sheet, click longbow.
I think. Do I have it? Because I have it as an item.
It's literally so it in your sheet. Remember, during the one shot, you go to where it says attacks. This is like spear, longbow, hunter's mark. You would click the longbow button. It's not going to be in your inventory. It'll be in the attacks right under your hit points.
Yep, so in the
Mhm.
middle column.
Yes.
You see the name, the attack, and the damage type there.
If it's not there, you can just go down into your inventory, click on the items, and it should show up into attack.
Well, I'm seeing it. I'm looking at a sheet right now. It's there.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
He just needs to click on it.
Oh, sorry, I found it. Here.
There you go.
Holy.
So that's going to be a +2 to hit. So 16 to 16 does hit. As you take your bow and you let go of one of the arrows, it hits into the don't forget to roll your hunter's mark damage, by the way. So it's a d6. You click the hunter's mark in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Right here it's D6.
Yep.
Right?
So as you take your bow, you shoot it in. As your bow hits the goblin, and like his head, as you hear go as it falls over dead.
Holy.
One less to go. We should probably kill him fast so we can turn the fire off
Yep. Is that
with
your
something.
turn, Tyrion?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that fairly easily if I, but not at the moment.
All right. Joseph, it is
All
your
right,
turn.
I'm gonna move there, and then I'm going to attack.
All right, roll to hit as you run up to the goblins. A 17 does hit. Roll for damage. Oh, you already rolled the 17, the 7.
Yeah.
So as you go up, you take your battle axe and you swing it across. You you notice that these goblins are wearing a bit more armor than you would have thought, as you're able to do a good chunk of damage to the goblin. It is
All
still
right,
standing though.
I'm going to action surge.
All right. So you can attack again. All right. So as you take your axe, you kind of do this little bit of a flip as you bring it up and slash the goblin in half, as both parts of its body just fall over.
Then I'm going to reposition since I have 5 feet of movement left.
Mm-hmm.
That's my turn.
All right.
Oh no.
Oh, it's all right.
So you're gonna be taking 3 attacks from these goblins.
That's fine.
The first attack is an 11, which I believe doesn't.
That misses. Yeah, no.
It's gonna be another 11, which also doesn't hit, and then a 22 to hit.
That does hit.
So as these goblins run up, you see that they have these a little bit better looking daggers. As they come and they try to jab at you, you take your battle axe and you're able to block the first, and the second one scrapes against your armor. As one of the goblin's knives finds this soft spot in your armor, as it goes a little bit under your arm, as you feel this jab into it, as this pain goes through your body, as the goblin pulls his knife back out, a little bit of blood dripping out. Um,
So I wouldn't have used the shield. That would have been my only question.
oh, you use your shield for one of the
The first,
attacks.
yeah.
Um, with that, Thea, you just ran out of the building, right?
Yep.
So your turn's gonna be passed along with Lazarus's. So
And Malik.
mhm.
It's the rogue's turn.
No, it's a goblin's turn actually.
Oh, my bad.
So this goblin is going to move here, and it's going to throw one of its daggers at Josephet.
Yes, group up.
Well, they're
Yeah.
he's the only thing in his range, their range. So
Yes, group up. Thank you.
all right. Does a 14 does not hit
Nope.
you, Josephet. As the
Nope.
other guard, as you see this goblin kind of haphazardly throw one of its daggers at you, you kind of like step to the side as it lands onto the ground. As it's now Floki's turn.
Okay. Walk up next to Josephet and I attack this goblin.
Roll to hit. A 24 does hit. Go ahead and roll the damage. Alright. So as you take your rapier, you just go in and you stab straight through the heart of the goblin. As you pull it out, you just see the blood spurting out a little bit. As the goblin looks at you guys, goes and falls over dead.
Okay. Alright. Now I move my last 5 feet, standing on the corpse of this one, and I attack this one with my second
You're
my
offhand?
sec- my offhand.
Alright. So go ahead and roll for the offhand attack. An 11 does not hit. As you go to try to attack this one, it just nimbly dodges your dagger. So with that, is that your turn?
Um yes, I end my turn.
Alrighty. So it's gonna go to this last goblin. It's gonna dash over here. And that'll be its turn. And we go back to the top of the round. As Thea, Lazarus, and Malik, you run out and you just see this horde of goblins.
Well, I should have probably got out earlier. Seems like the action's already started.
I don't say anything. I just stand there.
Well, is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn, Darren.
Okay.
Remember, you can use your dragon as a bonus action.
Okay. For the moment, I am gonna use Hunter's Mark.
Alright, so you're gonna move it with your bonus action? Where are you moving
Um, I think I'm gonna move Zed over to the lowest guy right here.
to? Alright.
So
Go ahead and move Zed.
Zed moves there, and Zed is going to take a bite out of him.
Alright, roll to hit. 21 does hit. As Zed, you just see Zed go straight through the goblin's throat, and it rips out his jugular. As you just see blood spurting from the goblin, as the goblin just screams in pain as your little dragon just looks at you all happy like.
Well done. Can I call Zed back? No, right?
Well, let's see, what was the movement? So he was here. You moved him 25 feet, so he has 5 feet of movement left.
Well, he's gonna move a bit back. Further to here, to the draconic friend.
It'd be right there.
Right there.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark.
So you've already used your bonus action to direct Zed. So if you move you move your hunter's mark, that's going to take your action.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to use my longbow then.
All right, who are you attacking with it?
Yes, I am attacking with my longbow.
Who are you attacking with your longbow?
I am attacking uh, this one right here.
All right, roll to hit.
Mm-mm.
All right, so that does hit. As you take your bow and you shoot it into the goblin, he now has an arrow sticking out of his shoulder. However, he is still standing. At this time, you see more goblins kind of just running out of here. So they will take their turn, or they will roll their initiatives at the top of the round. So is that your turn, Tyrion?
Yes.
All right, Josephet, it is your turn.
Give me a second. I'm gonna measure something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use a breath attack, but I'm gonna aim it so I can hit the two in front of me and not Floki.
So this one and this one.
One right in front of me and then the one right above it.
All right. So go ahead and roll your breath attack for me.
Where would that? That's not even in.
Should have been put onto your attacks, I believe. If not,
I found. What?
so no, it didn't. You didn't put it into your attacks. 1 second. What kind of a dragon are you?
Gold, so it's just it's a 15-foot fire.
And it's a con save, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a dex save.
Or yeah, no, yeah, it's Dex.
And it's equal to 8 plus your constitution modifier, which is 3, so
Great.
that's 11, plus your proficiency, which is 13. So, there you go. Now, click the button. Alright, so they're going to make dex saves, so it'll be 2 dex saves. That's a 10, so the first one will fail. And the second one will also fail as you just burn as you take a deep breath in, you let out this draconic fire as you kill both of these goblins.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean to click again. I was trying to click off it.
It's fine. So with that, is that your turn?
Yeah, I don't because I was the only thing I would have is a bonus action, but I'm not gonna use second one. So
Yep. So with that, it would become Thea's turn. It is.
So I'm kind of measuring the distance right now.
You
So
wouldn't be able to see them. They are LOS of you, technically, right now.
gotcha. So let me move. Hold on.
The only goblin you see right now would be this one and this one over here.
Gotcha. So let me just do a little bit of vicious mockery on this guy right here.
Alright, so it needs to make a charisma saving throw. you. It'll roll a straight 0.
Alright.
There we go. So it will take that and have disadvantage on its next attack roll, as it takes 1 point of damage. What are you saying to it for the vicious mockery, by the way?
I will speak some gibberish in Elvish. It wouldn't understand me anyways.
Alrighty.
I hope. Okay. I think they speak common, but I could be wrong.
They
Yeah,
speak,
I don't care about them understanding me
yeah,
since
they speak
yeah.
common and Goblish.
Okay. Yeah.
So with that, is that your turn?
And let me move real quick. Let me just see. So do right to think about it strategically. Move here, why not? Right here.
Okay.
Or here. So I'm now on top of the fire.
Alright.
Alright. That'll be end of my turn.
Lazarus, you see dead goblin bodies everywhere. What are you doing?
Hold on. I'll move here and speaking out's like okay for no action, right?
What is?
But I wanted to tell the whole party to try to capture one alive for interrogation.
You could use that as a free action.
Okay, so my friends, take one alive. They can tell us their lair. And then I'll throw a fireball at the group of 3.
Alright, roll fireball.
Holy moly.
Even if they save, they're gonna all die to that.
Yeah.
They're just goblins. So those goblins will be dead. As you just throw this fireball, this little red speck goes like a little firework. So it lands in your ears. As they just all die. So with that, is that your turn, Lazarus?
Yeah, unless I can cast like sleep as a bonus action, but I don't think I can.
No, it's an action.
Yeah, that'll be good enough for me.
Alright, so it's this goblin's turn by his lonely self. He is going to make a dagger attack against Loki for
I'm
21 to
gonna
hit.
I'm going to use protection. I just gotta figure out where it is on my sheet.
I'm
Who would
also
that be?
gonna use Uncanny Dodge as my reaction.
Alright, so you'll still take 1 piercing damage.
I guess no, I'm not, because I don't think it's saved when I chose it.
We'll put it in there after. So, as the goblin goes for attack, you dodge it as it just kind of leaves a little cut across your leg, Floki. As it is now your turn.
I do a non-lethal attack to incapacitate the goblin that's in front of me.
Alright, roll to hit. And you do not get sneak attack for this one, as no one is within 5 feet of it. Except for you.
I thought I thought I get sneak attack whenever I'm within 5 feet of someone.
No. If an ally is within 5 feet of the target, you get sneak attack.
Yeah, you
Oh.
have to be flanking.
Well, there's not flanking, but yeah.
Well, it counts as flanking, is
Yeah,
what I mean.
so 22 to hits. So that is enough damage to knock it out. As you take the butt of your rapier, you just smack him straight onto his noggin, and he just goes like "Ugh!" and falls over unconscious. With that, is that your turn?
Give me 1 second here. Measure time. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Malik, it's your turn.
You muted Nitro?
Yeah, Malik's turn.
I didn't know he was there though. Have he muted himself again?
Malik. I mean,
Am I muted? I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It's
Oh,
okay.
yep. No, you're not.
Yeah, I was saying about moving to right here.
All right. You can
Oop.
move.
Gonna move up. We just made that guy unconscious, so it just leaves the one way back there.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see what's his range. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on him.
All right. So that's gonna be a Dex save.
16.
I think that's the highest I've ever seen a Sacred Flame roll.
Is that like a fireball?
No.
Nope.
So
It appears like fire, but it's actually like
it,
angelic damage, basically.
yeah. So as you
Okay.
see like this fire kind of erupts around the goblin, you see go and he just kind of like crumbles over dead. With that, as the goblins are now dead, uh, you see in the distance you can see these little creatures running across as they seem that as all of a sudden you see this horn that goes as all the goblins start running out of the village. And with that, I'm ending the session.
Hey.
Can I